we weren't starting till the half.
Oh, well.
Oh my God, no. Minutes
Like
away.
a bad guy.
Right, I'm going to get the
Some people
thing.
on Twitter are going to miss 7 minutes of the podcast, despite the fact we haven't even posted a link to it.
Yep. Definitely.
Dan, that's it. So you're going to get there, the link to the podcast. Because
Yeah, we'll do that.
we could have done this beforehand, but
Well, Amy's free, so just send her the...
she hasn't looked at any messages in about an hour.
She's too engrossed in OTT.
Oh yeah, she's probably replaying Trent Seven's match over and over again.
I watched the first
How do we know
hour
she's
of
on
it,
pause
then
yet?
I watched the first hour of it. Then someone ruined professional wrestling for me for like 10 minutes. I want to try to go back for it. Dan was already on.
God damn it,
So I'm
Dan.
going to start off this podcast with sort of another apology. Someone may have said something very stupid on Twitter during the week.
That wasn't me for once.
That he didn't really elaborate at any context or really do anything to back himself up on. That could have been me. That could have been anyone here, but I'm just going to take the blame for it anyway. I want to blame. I'm partly putting the blame on you because you didn't stop me. So
We stopped it down on our account. That was all we cared about. I'm going to be honest with you there.
anyway, I may have implied that I may have said that women, well, at least this is the way after looking at the message, at least that's the way I would assume most people took it, that women can't fight men because there's a massive weight gap in between them, which is utter crap because women can clearly have wrestling matches with men no matter what size they are. What I was trying to say was because maybe how do you say it? I still think there should be some sort of logic and reasoning in wrestling, which there is half the time. Alex, shut the fuck up. Because I know, because we already had this argument. So I think there should be a logic and reasoning in wrestling how you book women against men, right? Not because I'm sexist, it's just the way it's been for so long. Which I guess some people are going to consider that I'm sexist. No matter what way I say this, I'm going to come off as a bit of a sexist prick. So
I'm not going to just say anything. I'm just going to let you go, and then
yeah, I'm going to dig myself into a hole. Let's just fucking get it over and done with now, and then we can move on to fucking something else.
We can't keep digging you out of them.
Right. So what I meant to say there was, and what I didn't want to get across is that I was some fucking nutcase. I just don't think that Martina should face Pete Dunne or any woman should face any men wrestler. It's just that anytime I've seen it before or since, because usually it's most high profile intergender matches I've seen have been involved some dickhead that flips his people with his penis, is they've always been sort of the same weight, or at least in the same weight bracket. I.e., the only intergender matches I've ever really seen have involved China and Awesome Kong. Two big ass fucking women who could beat any man on a good day. That was what I was trying to get across, which, considering what I've said in this podcast before, isn't too far away from what I already believe the way wrestling should be anyway. Which it should be a real fight. It should be a pantomime sort of play masquerading as a real fight. Saying that, this has been happening with men anyway for fucking years. For fuck's sake, they had 100 and how big is Rey Mysterio during his world title run, his first one? He was about 210 pounds. He muted you. That's great.
Yeah.
And he was about 210 pounds less, maybe. And he was the world heavyweight champion. Granted, that world title run was shite and he lost most of his matches. But still, I have apologized to Martina personally. I will never message Pete Dunne because he scares me. So I am sorry for anyone that I offended with such comments. That was not my intention. Away from that, if I see another fucking argument involving it doesn't matter, wrestling is fake, I'll slap him upside the fucking head. Just gonna leave that one settle.
Nathan's not going to take that one well, because that's been his whole point about this. Is Nathan just goes, wrestling is fucking fake, and it is.
So
you know?
I'm just gonna I don't give a fuck if no one likes me after this. Wrestling ain't fake. Wrestling is a choreographed sport, much like a play or whatever.
Yeah, but it's still scripted to live out whoever the person who books the match sees fit.
Right. The 85 to nearly 100 years before this, wrestling was treated as a sport, a real sport.
Yeah, before the internet and before you could just Google, is wrestling real? No. Oh, shit.
It doesn't mean that you can't still put it out that the sport and the rivalries and the people who face each other in the ring isn't real. The biggest match of this fucking year revolved around the work that made people believe that they didn't fucking like each other.
Have you ever watched a British wrestling company?
Let me finish.
Because British wrestling is based around entertainment and not presenting it as a real sport. It's about presenting it as hard-hitting entertainment.
It's still presented as
Riptide. They all do it. They don't think about logic. They just book cool fucking matches and have great fun. If you want to watch wrestling as a sport, go watch Ring of Honor.
Will you let me finish? Will you let me finish?
No.
Let me finish.
I don't think we should let you.
Let me get my point across first before you decide to cut me off.
No, I'm cutting you off because you were wrong. I'm telling you where you were wrong.
Let me finish my point first, and then we can talk about where I was wrong. I
just showed you, so I'm done.
Didn't let me get my point across first before you decided to cut me off, right? You can't keep using the argument wrestling is fake when you're probably the same person who will defend this fucking sport when anyone that doesn't watch it calls it fake.
No.
Fuck off. If anyone ever says to you that doesn't watch it, hasn't watched wrestling, let's say, since the 90s, let's say, and they say, oh, but wrestling's fake, you know that, yeah? You're not going to stand there and go, it is.
So is Harry Potter. Who gives a fuck? It's entertaining. Like, that's my response. Everything is fake.
Dan's laughing because he knows if I was there, I'd kill you. Wrestling isn't fake. Wrestling is not fake. Wrestling, shut up a second. Jesus Christ.
It's still real to him, damn it.
It's not that it's real to me. It's that it's supposed to be a fucking sport. Oh my God. I'm too drunk for this shit. Right. What I'm trying to fucking say before I keep getting rudely cut off by fucking ye is you can't keep using that as an excuse for stupid shit happening. If you're saying it's fake now, it's been fake for the last 100 years. What made all the feuds, the best feuds in the last fucking decade better? Because you thought the people who were fighting were actually fighting each other. Your Jericho's and your fucking Shawn Michaels. Your fucking Jericho's and Triple H's. Your Jericho's and... I keep bringing back Jericho, but I'll move away. Your Jericho's and fucking Omega. Shit in Japan is still fucking... The sport is still put out there that it's an actual fucking contest. It's still put out that way. It's still made out that it's an actual fucking fight. I only read up because of the fucking the Low Blows podcast about Tanahashi and not the Low Blows podcast, the TKO podcast. I think it might have been a TKO podcast. That Tanahashi and Suzuki have had a feud going on for years. So it made their match, their most recent match, much better. You have something that actually feels like it's real, even though we know it's not. It adds to the sport. Do you know why? Because it's a suspension of disbelief. This is the problem I had with the intergender match. There's no suspension of disbelief. I'm not a big fan of comedy in wrestling. Never really have been. I like comedic characters, but not just the characters themselves. Like Santino. He still had probably one of my favorite segments ever on Raw when he had the tea party with Sheamus and Vladimir Kozlov. Yes, I know it's fucking shit, but it was fucking funny. Admittedly, it was quite hilarious. Right? But I don't like that in wrestling. Even the most recent RTT show had comedy at the start of the opening match, but ended up being an actual fucking fight. At least it was made out that way between Bate and fucking LJ Cleary.
That
was not Tyler Bate.
Oh my god, Amy's gonna kill me.
Tyler Bates' dad. Tyler Bates died, and then Jay Cleary. Trent Seven, yeah. It started off with a bit of comedy, but it ended up being an actual fucking fight. That's how the fucking sport got as popular as it has been, and how it still is popular.
Are you assuming that Martina and Pete Dunne isn't going to be a match then? So
I'm not assuming that. It's just the suspension of disbelief bit that it helped. That's what I was trying to get across in my tweet, and that's what kind of fucked me up because I didn't really explain myself.
The one question I have.
Go on.
Is it just the fact that she's going up against Pete Dunne that's the problem, or do you feel that she shouldn't be going up against any man at all?
It's just that, no, because there is a lot of men that are fucking small enough and skinny enough to put up, that makes it look like a real fight. Do you know what I mean? Because there's a lot of indie wrestlers that are just these really, that they say they're like 175 pounds, but they look like they haven't had a sandwich in about 6 weeks. Like, so there is wrestlers out there like that. Well, that's the only point that I'm getting across, that I like it when two people face each other, that they at least look even. There's like 100-pound weight gap.
It's not like she's facing Keith Lee or something.
Yeah.
She's facing someone that
Mike Bailey.
It's just that's what I was trying to get across. It wasn't. It just came across worse than it actually was. Fine that they're having it.
So, Aaron, if it was Mike Bailey and Keith Lee, would you be able to suspend your disbelief because Mike Bailey is a cruiserweight and Keith Lee is a super heavyweight?
When they get to the point where there's about 100
but
and 120.
Bailey is a good martial arts expert.
See, that's where it brings realism into it.
Here's the thing, though, as I tried to say to you earlier, and there's places to go to watch wrestling presented as a sport, and unfortunately, UK Brit Race is not one of them.
But that's UK wrestling has that
a little bit.
It has that,
but a lot of it's about just entertainment and having fun. Hence why Millie McKenzie called Mark Davis at Fight Club Pro.
One of the best feuds of the last. One of the best feuds.
Woman.
One of the best feuds of the last couple of years involved Jimmy Jacobs and Will Ospreay.
Jimmy Havoc. Jimmy fucking Havoc.
Jesus Christ.
I didn't say I was sober for this, so fuck yourselves.
No, yeah, confuse anyone. It's not Jimmy Havoc. You know me. I'm like the biggest Jimmy Havoc in the world.
Jimmy Havoc. Jimmy Havoc and Will Ospreay have had the best wrestling feud of the last 10 years in England because it fucking came across as real. And that's what I keep saying. That's what I like about wrestling. So when people come across and say that it's fake, you can't use that as an argument when probably a lot of their favorite feuds the last couple of years have been because you genuinely think A and B don't like each other. You can't use fake as an argument from here and there.
It doesn't always have to be there, and it won't always be there.
I know it doesn't have to be there, but what I'm saying is,
after won the Progress Belt, his whole gimmick was he's.
But that's what I'm trying. This is what I'm trying to say. I know not every feud is going to be like that. What I'm trying to say is that you can't say it's fake for some feuds and not for others. You can't say it's fake for some matches and not for others. Either it's all fake or it's all being perceived as real. You can't just pick and choose your arguments when you want to, and that's what annoys me. That people just go along and fucking say, "Oh, well, there's no problem because it's fake." Fuck off! You can't do that anymore. You can't. The reason we all love wrestling. We all thought it was real when we started watching it. Do you know what I mean? Can you get where I'm coming from? This is what I actually tried to say at the first tweet.
But you're far too blanket
with it. Lost because I'm a retard.
You're just far too blanket with it, though. You're just a bit like, if a match doesn't have logic, I hate it. And you're like, just chill, man. Not every match is going to have it. Like,
you're not. That's. I never said that.
Pete Dunne and Martina. It doesn't make sense. If she wins, she beats a WWE UK champion who's a man, and if he wins, he baits around a woman. And it's like, calm down. It's a dream match that's just gonna happen. Like, that's okay. Just leave it.
Oh no! See, that's why the tweet was taken wrong. It's not about. You see, you're confusing what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying the argument is not about the match anymore. It's happening. It ain't my cup of tea. I'm not going to watch it. I'm on about people that use the argument. No, I'm on about people that use the argument saying that it's fake. It's not fake.
Okay, but look, it is.
You snapping off a fucking wrestling ring. The first 2 weeks I fucking trained in professional wrestling, I couldn't move properly. If it's fake, then it's pretty fucking realistic. That's why
I don't mean fake. I mean,
but that's the argument I'm trying to go on now. I'm not on about the match anymore. I'm on about the argument that people try and defend the match by saying, "Oh, it's fake." It's not fake. Jesus. Can I get this
step into the ring? All fake, and it's scripted and choreographed to finish a certain way.
Have you ever been in the ring?
No.
Have you ever taken a bath bump in a ring?
No, but if I watch every match as if it was real, then.
But I'm not going to say that I'm going across that these two people definitely hate each other. It's the suspension of disbelief.
Well, suspend your disbelief more like I do, and just believe that in the match.
That's what's lacking in a lot of That's what's lacking in a lot of wrestling these days. It's a suspension of disbelief, and that's all I was trying to get across. That's just one part of the problem. You're annoying me because this was just the argument I was trying to get across. I know you're fucking annoying me over it. Now I'm getting pissed off. Jesus,
because you're still doing your whole Jim Cornette old school thing where it's like every match has to be realistic. Let's have 40 minutes of one guy trying to beat down the other, and then have the one guy do the realistic move where they've all realistic things. And just calm yourself there, mate. Wrestling's moved on. It's
you're
changed,
annoying me.
Are different. You have to accept that, like I do.
I get that it's different. I'm just saying.
Don't though.
I'm not saying wrestling needs to be like that. I'm saying that if people keep saying it's fake for every time they try and defend something stupid, you're making it out that you're not helping the situation, is what I'm trying to say. That's all I'm trying to say. Stop saying that it's fake. Stop going on fucking YouTube.
Real?
A play. It's a choreographed play with actual people actually getting hurt in it. Kicks and punches won't hurt.
It's not
but
real.
Them hitting off the mat.
Why can't you get your head around it?
This is what I tried to say in the chat. This is what I tried to say in the chat yesterday. I'm not saying that it's 100% real. I'm just saying it's that perfect blend between realism and it being fake.
People who say it's fake aren't saying it's 100% fake. They're just saying, look, it's not real. Like
this is. So what I'm trying to say is that don't blanket everything that everyone else thinks is stupid as fake. Hence you can't defend the match by saying it's fake, so it's bad, it doesn't really bother you. But when somebody else in the fucking street goes, "Oh, wrestling's fake," and you're standing there going, "But it's not," stop using. So
you're assuming that's what I do. Is it? You're just going to presume that's what I do when somebody says that.
I'm not assuming that's what you think. I'm assuming that's what a lot of people have said to defend this match. Well, wrestling is fake, so it doesn't matter. Don't do that.
No, not that bit. Not that bit. If somebody says to me, "Wrestling's fake," I say, yeah, it is.
I'm not directing this at you. Like, I'm not completely directing this at you. I'm just directing this just in general. Do you want me to? If I have to, I don't want to name out names because I don't want to do that. I'm just saying in general that's how people are defending this match. If you want me to name out names, I'll name out names, but I don't want to because that's just fucking. They didn't do it to me, so I'm not going to do it to them.
Look,
just stop saying that it's fake just to defend fucking match. That's all. Or defend anything in fucking wrestling that's stupid.
I just said. Do you want me to call it choreography?
I'm not expecting every fucking match to be this 40-minute fucking mat classic that involves two of the greatest fucking wrestlers ever. I'm not retarded. I do expect there to be a bit of fluff, but I expect there to be just a little bit of logic behind it. With this, to me, there's no logic behind it. To say that to say that women's wrestling in Ireland is being progressed by this. It's not. CCW has done more for women's wrestling in this country than any other promotion has. And I'll fucking defend that down to the ground. They have built a
PW do
solid
well.
women's. And do you know what? I haven't seen a lot of their stuff, so I honestly wouldn't know. I know they have a belt, and I know Katie Harvey was their champion. But I think
Fight Factory's good as well.
who's the champion now? Who's the champion now? It's not Katie
Where?
Harvey anymore. Who is it? In PW.
Lauren LaRue.
Yeah. So they've done more to help women's wrestling in Ireland than anybody else. The biggest company in this country has not done that. At the end of the day, they're two separate fucking entities. Men's and women's wrestling are two separate fucking entities. You see what I'm trying to get across?
I do. Oh, yeah, I get you.
You get me? I'm not trying to come across as a fucking asshole or anything, but there's certain things that they're just not doing, and it's not helping it. So anyone who says to watch Pete Dunne versus fucking Martinez helping women's wrestling in the long run in Ireland, it's not. What PW and what CCW. Will you let me finish?
Oh my Jesus.
I'm not finished yet. I will tell you when I'm done.
Like, this has been like 10 minutes. Can you hurry it up?
I'm going to finish it, but you keep cutting me off.
Go. Jeez, go.
I'm just saying that they keep defending it. Well, you know, this shit, this is not helping women's wrestling. I'm not saying that it's not helping it. I'm just saying it's not doing as well as what the other two bigger companies in the country have done. When you're the biggest company in the fucking country, one of the biggest independent companies between Ireland and England, and one of the bigger ones in Europe, you're not really doing a lot to showcase the women's talent in the country. One argument I heard was that because they're not ready. They're not ready because you haven't made them get ready. You haven't helped them to get ready. So when you do have a fucking injury to one of your only two female talents in the company, you're fucked, and you need to make a new fucking belt.
Okay.
I'm not saying that's the reason they made the new belt, by the way. I'm just saying that I can see how people I can see that happening already. In my head I can see that happening already. That's just the way I perceive it. It's just that other companies have done better for women's wrestling in the country than they have.
Okay.
That's just the biggest thing. For a long time we only had two. Now we have about fucking 12 fucking women's wrestlers in this country that can do a lot in the ring. If it's fake, it doesn't matter what crowd they're in, if you're going to use that argument. Do you know what I mean? If you're going to use fake as an argument, it doesn't matter what crowd they're fronting. If it's 5 or 5,005, if it's fucking 10 or 10,000, it doesn't matter what crowd they're in front of. If it's fake, it's fake. It doesn't matter. So you can't use fake for one part of your argument and completely fucking stop it for another part.
Okay.
I'm done.
Right. So here's the thing. You say OTG doesn't for the women's wrestling, right? Do you want them to put Amy Alonzi in a match on the main card with Martina and have Amy Alonzi botch and have the crowd of over 18 drunk people turn on her and completely destroy all of her confidence in wrestling when she's not ready?
No.
You know, some people aren't ready, and that's the thing. They do have the contender shows, which they're working on.
That's what I'm trying to say. They haven't helped them for so long in women's wrestling. They haven't helped the women's wrestlers get ready for so long that when they do actually need them on their shows, they can't use them.
Okay. But where are they going to get the experience outside of contenders? Because they can't, there's no...
Every other fucking wrestling company in the country.
What?
There's not just one. You can't just, like...
Yeah, but are CCW going to book Amy Alonzi? Is she going to want to travel down from Dublin?
If they ask her, you never fucking know. You'll be surprised how many fucking fellas from Dublin and the North will probably go down to take that booking.
That's what I mean. Like if they're not working, they're you know, they're still playing contenders.
Lauren LaRue, Debbie Keitel, Raven Creed. Just three off the top of my head that I remember in my drunken fucking stays. You had three there.
But Debbie's only had about 10 matches. Like, you can't put her on a main show in an over 18s crowd.
I know, but I know that. But I'm just using those. I'm just using those as
Alex.
part of my.
What?
Alex,
Yeah.
you were talking about the contenders, building up the women and all.
Mhm.
Where's the women's match on this card?
Well, they probably haven't announced it yet, but there will be, because they've been building up the sons of Yuliad to back Raven, so
Okay.
they'll be on there somewhere.
Why is there not one yet?
Yeah,
Because they're gonna
Why
make
is
a
there
big
no one yet?
deal and announce it separately.
The show will be like next week, so it's a bit unfair to
Okay.
name all of the matches and then
I don't know, man.
announce the women's
I'm not
match
defending-
less than a week.
So
But
can
you
you
were
see my argument? Can you see my argument that I honestly don't think they actually care about women's wrestling and OTT. For fuck's sake, in Ireland on an Easter Sunday they put a wrestling show on. Whose fucking idea was that?
Joke Brace.
I know we're not that much of a Catholic. I know we're not that much. I know we're not that much of a Catholic country anymore. But Easter Sunday is one of those days that you're not going to run a show in Ireland. It's just you're not going to get the crowds, you're not going to get the people in. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Look, I'm not defending the company. It's just I was at the Q&A before Homecoming, and one of the things Joe Cabray did mention, especially about the contenders, is that a lot of them can't get work in a lot of places, so it's hard to put them on shows because you're just not sure how they'll react.
So you know what you do? You get two people that you know are going to put on a decent match. Not a great match, but at least a serviceable match on the card.
And take away from, a big...
Get two wrestlers that have faces that are a million times and put them on the fuck. From what I can gather from all the cards that I've seen, I'm trying to catch up with the CCW shows, and I haven't been caught up on a lot of them yet. At least maybe about a year and a half to 2 years back, I haven't gone onto any of them yet. Is that Raven and Lauren
Debbie.
Valkyrie have faced each other a lot.
Yeah.
Valkyrie, that was the other one I couldn't fucking remember. They face each other a lot. You know full well you're going to get at least a solid 10-minute match out of them. Why not slap them on the fucking card? To at least say...
In a big show, I don't want a solid 10-minute match when I could get a 10-minute lol fest from Angel Cruz. Do you know? I don't go to OGT to watch decent matches. I go to watch big stars and entertain and shit like.
So, oh my god! So you go to a wrestling show not to see wrestling, you go to see a comedy act. Then go to a comedy fucking...
I see great matches and comedy, not solid
You're still going to get a good fucking wrestling match? Oh my god, you're still going to get a good fucking wrestling match off 10 minutes you have to fucking... that's what I'm trying to fucking say.
Yeah, but as I said, if given the choice between Angel Cruz in a 10-minute match or Debbie Coytel in a 10-minute match, I'm going to pick Angel Cruz because he's funnier and he'll actually entertain me more. No slight on Debbie Coytel, she's great. But, if you're going to leave Angel Cruz off a card for something like that, I'm not really going to be all for it. Maybe at one point, when Debbie's good enough to outdo him, then yeah.
I want to end this argument because I'm going to bust a blood vessel in my fucking brain and give myself an aneurysm. Because,
do you know what, though?
Getting my point.
You should watch that. Good stuff. Chikara, Candy Floss, Sierra Loxton, Zoe Lucas. All good stuff. Like me some women's scraps in it.
I know, but I'm just saying, fuck me for wanting a bit of wrestling on a wrestling show, not just a comedy act for 10 minutes on a wrestling show. Fucking what a dickhead. Am I right? Anyway, let's move on because if I end up killing someone, it's going to be your fault.
Well, your definition of wrestling might be different from mine. I want to be entertained. You just want to see good wrestling. There's no bother. My choice isn't.
You can be entertained.
Don't judge me. My choice isn't worse than
Please, Alex, please.
No, he's going on oh, you have to like wrestling at a wrestling show. I want entertainment.
You can still get that from a fucking wrestling match, you fucking idiot! Jesus Christ! Jesus Christ! I actually want to end the podcast, Aaron. I want to go home. I'm already home and I want to go home.
See, this wouldn't happen if Amy was here.
Alex won't get entertainment off a solid wrestling match for 10 minutes. So why have them on when we could just get a comedy act for 10 minutes? Is essentially what you've just said. I used the argument of using a solid 10-minute professional wrestling match in a ring between two women. No, I was saying in a ring, and you're saying, I don't want to see that because I want to be entertained by Angel Cruz.
And what's the problem with that? People love Angel Cruz and Be Cool and Martina and the lads from Flats because it's funny and you enjoy it.
He is an ultra star.
That's exactly it. Club Tropicana are one of the most over teams on Contenders, not because they're great wrestlers, because they're very fucking funny.
So that means so that means so because they're funny and they're entertaining that nobody else that has a fucking proper wrestling match for fucking 10 or 15 minutes isn't entertaining.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I would rather see the people who are going to entertain people than the people who are going to have
the space on the show for everyone. The space on the show for everyone.
Yeah, exactly. You don't go on like that, no.
I was just saying they could do it to help their cause. That's all. To help put them. Even do it in a dark. Don't even put them on TV. Don't even put them on that fucking service. Just put them in a dark match before the show, before it's even filled up.
Yeah.
If you stand today, put them on 7:30. That's all I'm saying.
Or just put them on Contenders,
I'm not asking. I'm saying on one of their main shows.
I'm not even complaining to you.
A bit of a bigger crowd. Apparently, like.
Fucking fantastic. I love this so much.
Thing is, as well, if this was Amy, I know she'd be defending her point to be a devil's advocate. Because you're doing it, I know you're actually being serious.
Well, no, I'm just a bit more like not aggro than you.
I'm just, the whole point is just stop saying wrestling's fake as an argument to get your point across. Because if that's the case, then why watch it at all? Instead of watching it in the first place because you started watching it in the first place because you thought it was real and you were entertained by it. So why negate that fact when you get older? Suspend your disbelief for fucking 3 hours. Why not? Go in there and go, I believe that Jeff Cobb is going to kick the fuck out of Suzuki. Even though that's not going to happen because Suzuki looks like he murders babies in his off time. That's all I'm saying.
That might just be the best thing you've ever said.
It's not this incredible fucking concept to fucking grasp it all. It seems to be for a lot of people. Just stop calling it fake to back up your argument. It just
people are just sick of people complaining about wrestling more so than anything else because people seem to love complaining about wrestling far too much. And I'm not saying it's you. It's just that whole.
We're not going. I know that. And I know we're not all going to like. I know we're not all going to like everything. I know we're not going to like everything that happens in a fucking show. I get that. That's not falling. That's not.
Okay. What the fuck?
I can't really describe what happened there, but my cat just robbed the bag. Stop.
We needed this.
Oh shit. I'm just saying for them just to stop using that as an excuse. Because that ain't a fucking excuse. You're supposed to go into a wrestling show to just get away from real life. To get away from real life for fucking 2 hours or 3 hours or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Just if you're fucking depressed or whatever, or if you're just not fucking liking anyone at the moment, you can sit in front of a ring and watch two fellas beat the fuck out of each other for 45 minutes or 2 hours or whatever, and just believe that they wanted to actually kill each other. Fucking like wrestling it's a weird sport. I get that, for fuck's sake. It's a bunch of fucking men in tights and underwear fucking trying to kill each other. It looks gay enough as it is.
Right. But this is all stemmed from your argument about Martina versus Pete, yeah?
It did. So
can I just what's stopping them making that a no DQ match, and the very second the bell rings, Martina kicks him in the balls and then just goes to town on him?
Oh yeah, no. As I'm trying to say, it's gone beyond the match. I was just using the fact. I was just saying, no, after this is just the fact that everyone was trying to defend the match or defend anything that's in comedy and wrestling with, it's fake, so it doesn't matter. Stop saying that it's fake. That's
you're saying that's going to be a comedy match.
I'm not. No. Oh my god, I'm not on about when I on about the wrestling is fake argument. I'm not on about that match anymore. I'm just saying I'm annoyed at people using that as a way to defend anything that's stupid in wrestling, be it that match or be it whatever. Stop saying it's fake.
Problem.
Just
the original point was on that match, and now you're avoiding it altogether.
Because
whenever we try and mention your argument over said match, you go, "Oh, it's not about that match anymore." But that's
because I started to say because if you go back, I
think we should move on.
Probably.
No,
yeah.
I'm going to end it with this. I started the argument and I ended with this. The argument for me went away from the match at the start. I was just saying it in general. People calling wrestling fake when they feel like it, and saying it's not fake or believing that it wants to be real when they don't. I mean, when they love it.
Okay.
I'm not going to like the match. I ain't going to fucking watch it. My tweet was bad and I shouldn't have fucking said it. As I said, I'm going to drop some of the blame on you because you didn't stop me.
Are you not going to
We have no control over your tweet.
No, I don't. You're my you're the reason. Yeah, I'm just going to blame you. 90% of it's on me. 10% of it's on you. 91% of it's on me. 3% is on all of you individually. 3% on Dan. 3% on Alex. 3% on me. You should have just went, "Don't do that, Aaron," and I wouldn't have done it. So I'm just going to blame you. Some of the blame's gone on you.
To be fair, I'm happy because it caused a shit storm that made you look like a twat. So I'm quite happy.
Well, to be fair,
it was 91% your fault.
It was 91% your fault, 3% Dan's fault, 3% Alex's fault, 3% Amy's fault. I'm dispersing the fault amongst all of you evenly to add up to 100%.
Okay.
All right.
So lads, shit this week, though, wasn't it?
Can I just say another thing? Can people stop blaming Martina? No. Can people stop blaming Martina? Can people stop blaming Martina and the wrestlers in the match for the match happening? Stop being spastics.
Yeah, that's pretty. Yeah,
that's fucking terrible. Martina's not a booker in OT.
Let's blame those crowd out in Brighton. They're the ones who pitched the idea first.
Yes, fuck them.
Yeah, it's their fault. Nobody else's.
In the long run, OTT's gotten more publicity in the last 24 hours than I say any wrestling company has.
Yeah.
So,
fortunately,
I say in a lot of ways,
oh, yeah.
Joe must have been at
wrestling
home.
with regret.
Jeez.
What was it?
Wrestling with regret featured OTT this week, was it?
I didn't watch the. I know he does an indie roundup. I didn't see it all.
Yeah, I think he reviewed the show. I haven't watched it yet, but I think somebody posted it in the forum there last night about it. So
yeah, I've seen that, but I never
looked
at
his take on it.
That's quite cool.
Yeah,
I like wrestling with regret.
I know he did like briefly mention them before when he was talking about indie wrestling, but I think he just featured their logo as part of like all of the indie promotions. But like to actually review a show, quite cool.
Yeah. Oh, cool. But yeah, that's.
It's just know that he dropped the $8 for the OTT on demand.
Probably not. But yeah,
watching the show.
So I'd like to not be lumped in with the. I'd like to be not lumped in with the people who are misogynistic and just think that women shouldn't be wrestling men. I just think it's okay, but I just like a little bit of logic.
Okay, so now the apology is finished. Where do we start the show?
WWE.
So so no, I want to start in WWE, but I want to start something that happened last week.
Okay.
After Ronda Rousey and shit. debuted, as you can imagine, a lot of mainstream outlets, including WWE themselves, sort of focused their attention on that.
Yes, rather than their own talent.
Rather than the women's rumble itself. Like, do these women not realize that even though Nikki Bella and Charlotte and all of them may have been the people who started it in WWE, they wouldn't have been able to start it in WWE if it wasn't for Ronda Rousey in the UFC. Because at the end of the day, she was the one that did it. Overall in women's sports, she was the one that did it. Right. I gotta just mute this. I gotta answer.
So, Dan.
I'm just glad to be able to get talking again there, because I didn't get talking for I don't know how long. What's that?
See, that's what I hate when people go on
20 minutes to half an hour.
Apologies
to anyone who was offended by anything that Aaron said there. I didn't really hear everything, so if he said something offensive, I don't really know.
He wasn't too bad.
Wasn't too bad, but there was always going to be a problem. Aaron was in the pub this evening, ladies and gentlemen, if it wasn't evident. But
I love how officially
I don't think that affected anything he said. He would have said it anyway. So,
yeah.
To blame. Anyways, don't really want to discuss anything that Aaron will probably end up discussing, but
well, I don't know where he's gone with this Ronda Rousey thing, but I'm pretty sure he's probably going to bitch about how the girls are complaining about Ronda Rousey. But like, it's been.
Well, I don't know the way he started there. I'm assuming he didn't meet us, but I'm assuming he's going down the whole route of praising Ronda, but I don't understand why he would.
Do you know? It'd be interesting if he ever comes back to see what he was going to say.
He will.
Yeah, hopefully. Who knows?
Or else we'll just hide it. Oh, we've technically hijacked the show because he's not here.
I like it.
This isn't the first time that he's kind of left the show. Anyways, he's back.
Hi.
You can continue.
Well, we didn't really want to elaborate on anything that you might end up talking about, so you were talking about Ronda.
I just think they need to think about what they're tweeting. That's all. Which is kind of ironic considering.
No, I think they're fairly justified in what they're doing. Like they're working the whole time, and then she comes in and she's stealing the spotlight. I mean, it's fairly obvious she's going to get handed a match at WrestleMania.
But it doesn't look like it's going to be a title match. So does that. It looks like she's going to be.
Like she came out and confronted both champions.
Exactly.
As well as Asuka, who just won the Rumble and pointed at the WrestleMania sign.
Yeah.
So if she ends up fighting Stephanie, it'd be fucking stupid.
But she will, though.
Well, they can easily just say she can easily just come out with an episode of fucking Raw and say, "I want Alexa." Then Stephanie can go, "Fuck off! Stop being a bitch." And then it can just lead to them just having a bit of a scrap.
The other thing here is they're currently. Are they not doing matches for who's going to be in the Elimination Chamber?
No, but
they're not going to stick Ronda in there, are they?
No, they've already picked their competitor. I get them now. No, they've already have their 6. They already have
inside of a cage.
They're not going to stick. I doubt they're going to stick Ronda in the first match in the Elimination Chamber. To be honest, I doubt that's.
Would they not? Considering she's pretty used to fighting inside of a cage.
That would be kind of a little bit too on the nose, I think, to have a first match.
We're talking about WWE here, like.
True.
It also means she can sit for half of the match in a pod and come out then towards the end and just kill whoever's left.
Yeah, just have her come out number 6 and murder people. Like, that's good booking.
I know, yeah, but they've already picked up 6. That was announced on Raw.
I don't think they announced 6. I think they only announced matches, and they haven't announced all the matches. I don't think.
Did Alexa then come out and say that you're taking favoritism over Brock, then you're the champion, and me?
Oh, yeah.
Whole thing
they put her in the chamber But Brock isn't going to be.
She called out Brock Lesnar about not defending the title, despite the fact Brock defended his title at the Rumble and she hasn't defended it since October.
He's defended twice.
Which is fucking ridiculous, to be honest. I like Alexa Bliss,
What
but
the fuck,
let's go back to the logic in wrestling. That makes no fucking sense.
It's like she's calling out Brock, but in turn makes her look worse.
Yeah.
She's basically calling like, why is he not going to be in the Elimination Chamber? Like, why is he not defending in the Elimination Chamber? Why do I have to? And yeah.
But that's her whole character, though, isn't it? Like, she's trying to get her way out.
I know that, but the fact that she hasn't defended since October is just bullshit.
It's, to be fair, though, once the label came along, she was second fiddle, and then Asuka as well made her third fiddle in that division.
But still, I mean, like, she could have defended in a multi-woman match and just won easily.
They're putting the women's belt in the multi-women match again. You know.
Yeah, in all fairness, it would be better than just not having it defended at all. At least the women's the title has been defended. The title was defended on SmackDown, wasn't it?
SmackDown women's title.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like it was actually defended on an episode of SmackDown.
And then Charlotte actually has matches, at least.
Yeah.
Like,
I know both of them didn't have a match at the Rumble.
Neither of them did, no, but I think usually Charlotte defends the title. Maybe.
Yeah, because she beat Natalya for it at the last SmackDown pay-per-view, didn't she?
Yeah. No, champions?
Right.
She defended because she had it going into Survivor Series.
Right. Did she beat Natalya before that then was it SmackDown?
SmackDown like 2 weeks before.
Yeah. Yeah, that was it.
To be honest, she's another one though. She's like second fiddle in that division because of the Riot Squad. And
actually, now speaking of SmackDown, what the hell has happened SmackDown since then?
What?
Like SmackDown towards the end of last year, it was still unique. It was still doing interesting things, and now I could just not watch it every week and wouldn't miss anything.
It's just they're so focused on that WWE style authority figure storyline that everything else has just gone by the wayside. Their three best performers are in one feud, so the rest of the roster's been really badly exposed.
And I've only been reading is it from seeing on Twitter. It's going to be a random fatal 4-way, a Fastlane.
Yeah, someone pointed out that on Twitter. Baron Corbin has done fuck all in the last 6 months. Dolph Ziggler won the US belt, fucked off for a month, came back at the Rumble, lasted 2 minutes, and suddenly the two of them were in the number one contenders match. Oh, what the fuck?
I mean, I like both of those guys, but it's what the fuck?
Maybe 2 months ago or 3 months ago, you get it because it was still quite prominent on the shows. But now you're like, they don't deserve this at all.
Hang on a second, I didn't see SmackDown. Who's the other two competitors in that fatal 4-way?
Kevin and Sammy, didn't they?
Kevin and Sammy.
So hang on a second, they're still getting another title shot, despite the fact that Shane said they're getting another title shot.
Because the whole Shane Daniel Bryan made a match, so I'm going to add to it. Like, we're feuding.
No, this was the problem. That Shane had complained about them getting title matches, but the problem is he is the commissioner. He is over Daniel Bryan and could overrule any of his decisions, but yet doesn't.
Oh, man, WWE hurts my brain.
And then complains about the stuff that Daniel Bryan does. If this was in any other job,
I know.
Did you hear?
Person of authority just complaining about somebody who
Did you hear what he said to Daniel Bryan? They're using Sammy and AJ as a way to, like,
that was
keep her wrestling alive. It was like a real subtle hint to go, oh, he's going to say that he wants to wrestle again. Don't you tease us. Don't tease us. Please don't tease us.
How many times have they teased us since Daniel Bryan?
It's getting too close to WrestleMania to put out a backhanded comment like that.
Yeah, to be fair, there was even that before Christmas, because hence why Daniel Bryan was talked about for the Rumble.
I'm going to embarrass my boss. This is what my boss just sent me on Snapchat.
I can't see that.
He's got what's it called? Ta-da! No, aha! Take on me on the background. That's the joke. Funny to me, damn it, yeah, so wrestling makes no sense. Sometimes.
In WWE, it never makes sense.
It does.
It's the whole logic thing again, and we'll not get into that because, for fuck's sake.
Wrestling is not my wrestling.
Wrestling's not fucking fake!
Oh, when I edit the audio version of this, that's going in at the start of it.
What?
The David Arquette. Wrestling's not fake!
Yeah, or just get that one guy from the meme. It's still real to me, damn it!
Oh, I'm going to get the two of them. Jesus Christ. Come here.
And the audio of me from that video going, oh my god.
That was... You are so lucky I didn't record that. I literally just sat there, hugged Dave Cullen, screamed yes, and then just sat shocked for about 20 minutes.
You just stood looking around you as if, like, is this real?
Yeah, and then I sat down and just sat at the gate, looking around me going...
My mom's trying to duck under the camera and fail miserably. Sorry.
I hear.
Yeah. Actually, can I just say though, how unbelievable is it that two of the biggest, well, not two of the biggest, but like one of the biggest stars in Japan and Tomohiro Ishii, one of the best wrestlers in the world, are coming to Dublin. They're going to wrestle Keith Lee and Jeff fucking Cobb.
They are two unreal matches.
Like in Dublin, Ireland. Like Ireland's getting this on a wrestling show. It's not like pretend it's actually happening. Like what the fuck? This is
Alex,
a country that could sell 20 seats like 5 years ago.
Alex, can you just brace yourself for a second because I'm about to drop a tiny bombshell on you.
What? Okay, what?
When they announced both of those guys for Scrappermania, I was kind of disappointed. And I was kind of thinking, if I didn't get the Scrappermania, I wouldn't actually be disappointed. But then they announced these matches.
Yeah.
And honest to God, I really want to see Suzuki and Keith Lee.
Oh. But like, here's
God
the thing.
damn.
It's actually because in a completely unrelated group chat with a lot of American wrestling fans, they went, OTT's getting this Jeff Cobb and Ishii match, and they were like, holy fuck. I was like, I know, right?
Since we're talking about the card for Scrappermania, should we talk about the Homecoming?
I don't know. I'd rather do Fight Factory beforehand just to build up to OTT.
Grand.
If you do you have anything else we want to do, or will I just go straight into Fight Factory?
Well, since you're the only one who's seen it, you may just fly on there.
Actually, because we're on about the New Japan lads, and because I remember it now, and I probably won't remember it in about 5 minutes, they've opened up an official dojo in LA. Well, they're going to in the next couple of months, which is a big fucking deal.
They're reopening the one that Brian used to train in.
Yeah, they've had one before, but that wasn't.
It wasn't technically theirs, but it was theirs.
Yeah.
Any idea when that dojo was reopening?
Yeah.
When?
But this time, like, as an official New Japan Pro Wrestling dojo. Like, it's theirs. It's just, when you go in there, you'll know it's theirs instead of before
around
where it was.
September or August, is it? No?
Huh?
I don't think.
It's not around September or August or something that it's reopening, no?
Unfortunately, Daniel Bryan won't be the trainer. That's Rocky Romero.
Just would have been interesting.
Flight of Fancies and whatnot. Actually, speaking of New Japan, they're running a stacked show this weekend with some well-built matches. If you want to check that out, Hiromu Takahashi and Will Ospreay 1-on-1.
Where's the best place for me to catch this?
New Japan World tomorrow morning at 8 in the morning.
Yeah,
I'm
I'll
definitely
probably
gonna be up
catch
for
it down there.
Huh? Or you can just watch it when it goes up on their on-demand thing, like 10 minutes later.
Grand.
Fuck.
Okay. Fire away.
New
Yeah, go on.
Japan or Fight Factory?
Go on, Fight Factory there.
So
That went down harsh fight. Jesus Christ.
Are you still drinking?
You're fucking damn right I am. I've got a little whiskey here.
This wouldn't be a show if Aaron didn't produce a bottle of whiskey.
well, somebody always has to.
Fuck's sake.
If anyone watches Trailer Park Boys, you know that I'm slowly turning into Jim Leahy. Slowly but surely.
Okay.
Jim Leahy.
Go ahead there, Alex, while he's drinking.
Yeah. It was actually like Mrs. Brown's.
And wait, Dan, are you drinking rum and coke? While you're
What's
Julian. You're Julian and Alex. You're Julian, and then Alex is fucking Ricky because he never takes the blame for anything and trying to push down everybody else. And then Amy can be Julian because she's the only level-headed person a lot of us. I know when we're being retards. I've just figured out who
That's
we
a
are.
good analogy.
That is you don't even watch it. You don't realize how good of an analogy this is.
I'm vaguely aware of the characters in the show. I just don't really know them.
I think the most notable one of a lot of them is Bubbles. He's the one with the fucking big ass glasses there.
Yes. It's interesting how you didn't put either of us as him.
Because I needed someone to be Bubbles, and that was Amy, because Bubbles may look like a retard, but is actually probably the smartest one of the lot of them. Once you watch it for more than a season or two, you realize that Bubbles is the only one that actually has a fucking brain on top of his head. So, with a lot of us, that kind of
it's
includes
the glasses, you see. Anyway, I'm actually quite interested to know about the Fight Factory show because I've heard good things about it.
Yeah, it was well attended. To be fair, like I didn't expect it to be that many people there, but it was like it wasn't sold out, but it was very close to it. Like it was very good. The first match was Michael May against a Serbian guy who was having like his first match. That was kind of decent. Like it was very solid.
Do you mean like his first match ever, or his first match for Fight Factory?
First proper match. Like I know he hasn't wrestled that much before this. He didn't look nervous or properly settled, but he, there wasn't really much to it other than these guys are good wrestlers. That was it. Like, not against them much, but nothing to go out of your way, I suppose. Then with the women's tag match, Katie Harvey and Valkyrie against Leah T and Debbie Keitel, and you can really see Debbie Keitel how good she is. Like, despite the fact that she's probably only had a handful of matches, she really helped cover for Leah because this was Leah's first ever match, and she really helped cover for Leah because you could see times where timing was off and Leah looked a bit lost, but like Debbie and Katie were there to kind of cover anytime, and it was just a really fun like tag match. And Leah T's basically her whole thing is like this is gonna sound bad coming from me, but this is what everybody said coming out of it. She's basically the female Rikishi. She does like that stink face kind of thing, and that's mainly her attack. That's her main move. It was a good tag match, and then I think Debbie won, and so they teased dissension between Katie Harvey and Valkyrie. And if Fight Factory gets Katie Harvey versus Valkyrie, then holy shit, like what a match!
That could be quite interesting.
Would be good. Then J Money again. Lads, J Money is the next big star to come out of Ireland. I don't even give a fuck. Like he's had 2 matches and he's charismatic as hell and wouldn't look out of place on an OTT show. He's amazing. His whole gimmick is he's J Money. It's like the Velveteen Dream. He doesn't have a name. He's J Money. I am J Money. He's amazing. And he held his own with Phil Boyd on the microphone. Like, and he has all these. Actually, I have one here. If I can find. Yeah. J Money bills.
Was he handing them out?
He goes around just the making it rain thing to the crowd, and he just throws these around.
So like the
yeah, that was a really great match though, because like Phil obviously is the trainer there, so he knows them all well, and he's a great wrestler as well. It was very funny because he kept doing, he's Mr. Small Package, so he'd go Mr. Small Package, and when the crowd would chant along, he'd go yeah. It was so funny. And then
this is a PG show as well. Isn't it?
Oh yeah, he had to keep it PG. So he won via small package, of course. That was actually a great match, to be honest. Then there was a 6-man tag, the Super Nintendo, who, if you haven't seen them, they're very like video gamey.
Like TJP?
Like TJP, but better because they're like Nintendo. And their music is an 8-bit version of Avicii levels.
That's what I was just going to say, is like, if their music isn't 8-bit, I'm going to be so disappointed about it.
It's 8-bit, like levels by Avicii, and it's an absolute tune. And they teamed with Be Cool, who was like a surprise. But like, it wasn't a surprise because he was there before the show selling merch, so it was like, why else is he here? But
fuck's it, kayfabe, man, kayfabe.
He was gas, and they were against LJ Cleary and the Cartel. So that was fairly it was a fairly standard tag match. Like,
nice. So LJ Cleary is doing double duty this weekend.
Yeah, a lot of guys did. Jordan Devlin wrestled 3 nights in a row.
Oh yeah, wasn't he? Yeah, very good.
What you define as double duty? You define double duty as walking 2 shows over a weekend, or twice in one night.
2 shows in one weekend.
No, double duty twice in one night. Double duty.
I know that, but I'm just kind of putting in terms of this, like it's 2 different companies as well.
Yeah, that was pretty standard. Which is the Nintendo Bros, of course. Then after the match, they did an announcement that they're having Fight Factory at the next show. It's going to be I think it's a tag team tournament to crown the champions. So you had Justy and Alexander Dean, and they were like, "No, we should be champions." And then
when is the next show, or have they announced it?
It's the day before Martinez Gaff Party.
So that's the one that's on Easter weekend.
The 30th of March, if I'm not wrong.
Balls.
So I actually got to hear Nathan Martin cut a promo because he had to, and it was good. It was like, basically he just said, we're the best tag team in Ireland, so him and Darren Carney. Nathan Martin had a match with Justy, was very good. Nathan Martin's great, but just altogether as a wrestler. And of course, Justy is Justy, so he is fucking fantastic.
Indeed, it's Justy.
Like, every time Justy got on the mic, you just knew something was gonna happen. Like, the amount of times you just break your bollocks laughing at a Fight Factory show is great. It's the same as kind of Contenders. It's so much more laid back. And just everybody's
I hope he never hears me say it, but if he ever can't wrestle anymore, he should just take up stand-up comedian.
Who?
Justy. The man should be a commentator. Have you ever heard him commentating? It's unbelievable. He's just like, I taught him that as well. Oh, fuck, I didn't teach him that. Oh, Jesus. He's great.
I have comments about a commentator to come later, but I'll leave it till we get to it.
Yes, then Darren Carney and Alexander Dean had a match. This is probably the match of the night, because Darren Carney trained with Lance Storm, and Alexander Dean is really good for somebody who's he hasn't really been in the fold with OTT at all, but he's really good. Like, he wouldn't look out of place on a main show. And I don't think he's that young. I think he's been around and gave up and came back as well. So he's really good, and he's teaming with Justy a lot. So that's just a great tag team. They're so funny. And then there was the main event, Jordan Devlin and Sammy D. But before the main event, Dom Yup the Tuck came out, and he laid into Jordan Devlin. He was like, I've been challenging you on Twitter, and you're ducking me, man. And Dom Tuck's just this, it basically looks like he comes out in a cardigan that looks like his granny bought it for him, or he stole it off his granny. And he looks so unintimidating, but he's just like, I'm challenging Jordan Devlin. I want your title. You're ducking me, man. And he called Jordan Devlin. He was like, you're nothing more than a Finn Balor Funko Pop. Oh, he was so good. And all the Fight Factory lads just came out of the dressing room to look at them, just to look at your man Tucker. Great. So he came out before the match. He got super kicked, of course, for his troubles, and Jordan Devlin went, yeah, cardigan, because Jordan Devlin's the man. And then he had the 2 out of 3 falls match. Like, it wasn't terrible. It was good. Like, it's Jordan Devlin and Sammy D. Like, it's not, what to expect. Sammy got the first fall. He kind of cheated, and then Devlin got the next 2. So it was just like, it was a decent match. And I think I forgot one. It was a triple threat match. Scotty D, Clayton Long, and a guy whose name I don't know, but he's the Rock Shandy guy to me, because he comes out with Rock Shandy and like does the Steve Weisers with the Rock Shandy and hands it to the crowd. He's great. He just shouts, Rock Shandy! Amazing. That was a good match. Scotty, despite being 17, and kind of led the other 2 lads. Clayton Long does some mad shit. Like, he's probably like Sabu in a few years. Like, he just doesn't give a fuck, and he'll probably murder himself at a show at some point. And Rock Shandy guy is the best wrestler of all time. So
that's a pretty good analogy of an Irish show.
What?
It's a pretty good analogy. Like, it's come across as a very good show.
It was. I can't complain. Like, it's a great night of entertainment with some solid action. You get to see trainees like kind of discover themselves as well. And then you get to see the stars. Like,
I've got to get to at some stage.
I've never really been to a Fight Factory show, and I was like, I've seen a lot of these guys contenders, but I wonder who else is there. And I just went here, and I went to so much talent in this country. It's unbelievable. Like, even take out LJ, take out all the legit 100 and more than hype lads from contenders, and you still have a solid layer that could probably go to contender shows the next year or 2. It's just unbelievable.
You stop.
I chose that over OGT Belfast.
Do you know why?
Do you regret it?
Showed up, and I instantly regretted my decision.
So apparently,
we're getting a cat's arse on the show again.
Yeah.
Pets are like the number 1 attraction on the show, to be honest.
Cats and dogs. Did you just show us the cat's arse again?
Yeah, I did. At
least we're getting a star on the show, so.
Hey, I'm a star.
You weren't getting what I was going for, but anyway, I was kind of going for more of the chocolate starfish variety.
Oh. Right. I would look for news, but that's just too much effort. Triple H is in charge.
We still have stuff to talk about. We haven't talked about anything, really.
Yeah.
Apart from, well, we still have stuff to come.
Triple H is in charge of 205 Live now.
And I watched 205 Live this week. It was great.
I watched the first episode.
Kalisto and Lincerado was better than any 205 Live match before. It was fantastic. And Aaron, it was right up your alley. It was Kalisto's former champion. Him and Lindsay are mates. Lindsay is like, I didn't get these opportunities. They had a match. As simple as that. And it was great.
By the way, just because this popped into my head because I'm on about wrestling on a wrestling podcast, right?
Yeah.
Do you know where Gargano and give me a whole fucking name, Brid. I have to keep warm. Sorry.
Are you sitting at the kitchen table for this?
Yeah. He is. If you hadn't already noticed. He needs his post drinks dinner, to settle himself.
Yeah.
Right. You're having, I can see rice, I can hear naan bread, so I'm assuming you're having like a masala or a korma or something.
I'm having a korma and a masala.
Oh!
Bit of both.
Nice one.
So, do you know the way Gargano and Almas got 5 stars?
Yeah.
Well,
yes.
Do you know when Dave Meltzer said the reason I got 5 stars was because I had a story behind it? That was kind of it added to the match.
And that's the reason I don't think a story should have affected the 5-star because the performance of both of them.
But see, the thing is, I think it should have got 5 stars anyway, no matter what. I'm just saying no because I'm using his own. That's what I'm going to say. I'm using his own logic against him. He said he didn't give Naito and Okada 5 stars because the ending. And will you stop? Because of take him out. No. Get out cards.
Really stretching out this 5 seconds of fame or 15 minutes of fame.
Anytime there's some really good match comes on, right? Wait 1 second. Where's my Coke?
Oh my god.
I have it.
Aaron. Yeah. Yeah.
Here. 2 minutes there, lads. Go on. I'll get back to my point because these bastards have forgotten my Coke.
Aaron, this was moving so well. Just me and you.
Okay, to be fair, you were doing Fight Factory. The next step was going to be OTT, but then he mentioned 205 out of nowhere.
I know. Duff. He has Duff.
Duff beer for me. Duff beer for you.
Duff if you have one too. Oh, we're going to keep going.
Right. See, I'd like to start talking about OTT, but I feel like he's going to come back and interrupt us.
Actually, I think he has an interesting point of why didn't Naito and Okada get 5 stars then if it had the story going in, if that's one of Meltzer's elements?
It really doesn't make any sense, does it?
And it had a story. And there was no
I think it's gotten to the stage of where, like, they've had his whole star ratings for matches, but now they've become so contentious and such a big topic that he's like, shit.
Here's a reason I've just come up with, right? That I will now contradict myself with in about 5 minutes. Tell me I'm wrong.
You're wrong.
Fuck off. He does though. He consistently contradicts himself with that point. Oh, it has to have a backstory, and then there is a match, a fantastic match with a backstory, and he's like, but ending. That's the reason now. The ending. Yes.
Yeah.
The ending was so good.
And I don't agree with some of them, but you have to give it to him. Like, he knows a good match when he sees one.
As well, right? Do you know why people say, but why'd you hang so much on Dave Meltzer? Like, what's the big deal about his 5 stars? He's put himself in this position in the last 10 years, at least in the last 10 years or 15 years, for being the guy who knows professional wrestling. The professional wrestling reporter amongst all other professional wrestling reporters. Do you know what I mean? When you put yourself in that position, people are going to hold you in high regard. Wrestling fans are going to hold them in high regard. That's the reason people care.
Well, I know, like, I use his ratings as kind of a guide, like, of what to watch. I don't take them as gospel, but it's like, I've never seen that. He gave it 4 3/4. It must be good, so. Do you know? I don't think it's a gospel, but I use it as kind of a guide. You get me?
No, I don't know.
Rough guide.
Yeah. I think that's what people should use it as, not, he gave a 5 when I thought it was 4.5. What the fuck? I hate Meltzer now. It's like, no, he just has a different opinion. Like, just use
that's the thing I need to slowly start to realize, that Dave Meltzer has a very different opinion of wrestling than I do.
Yeah. Well, you see, here's the thing. He's from a different era as well. He watched All Japan in the 90s. He's used to seeing this stiff.
Yeah, true. In all fairness, he's lived through different eras, so he's seen lots of different variations.
He's watched 90s and 90s Puro, modern day WWE is nothing compared to that stuff, So people say, he doesn't rate WWE high. It's like, yeah, because he's seen shit way better from decades ago.
When you're a journalist, you have to be completely unbiased and take everything into account when you're grading a professional wrestling match. American wrestling, especially right up into the mid-90s, was completely different in two completely different parts of the country. Whereas WCW, for a lot of the time, used to be about the pure wrestling aspect, whereas WWF used to be about more the entertainment aspect of it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Just because he's
evolved his star ratings, but how tastes have changed as well, though, because nowadays what passes as a decent match 10 years ago was considered a great match. And the same, a great match 10 years ago is only a decent match now, you know? His ratings have evolved as well, because wrestling these days is better than it's ever been, depending on who you ask.
Yeah. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe on a more mainstream level, it's gotten better, but kind of overall, I think it's generally just kind of more spotty.
I don't know. Do you watch many Walter matches? I have a feeling you'd like Walter. He's very, very good.
I haven't. Honestly, I've never heard of him.
He's basically this near 7-foot Austrian guy who chops the piss out of people and is athletic as fuck. So he works like this big, strong, I'm a heel, you can't take me down kind of style, where you have to hit him just as hard as he hits you to get any ground. I think you should watch some of his matches. You'd love it.
To be fair, the last person you pointed me towards was the but who used was it Swan Lake as a team song? What was his name?
Oh, Cara Noir.
Yeah, that gimmick is fucking great. He's quite good too.
Yeah. See, I know what you like. I just don't like most of it as well. It's very. But yeah, you'd like Walter now. I have just a feeling you'd really enjoy it.
Alex knows what Aaron likes.
I wish Amy was on this podcast.
Kind of went. He'd like Cara Noir, so it's kind of a connection that's easy enough to make.
I like my characters in wrestling.
Yep. I have a feeling Aaron's
I'm kind of disappointed that we haven't veered off enough this week.
Huh?
I'm kind of disappointed we haven't veered off topic enough this week.
I'm going to add, right?
Eating donut.
Like, we've literally talked about wrestling for, you have talked about wrestling for a good hour there.
Sorry, Dan, you haven't talked about it.
I want to add on to a point that we made last week. Oh, goddamn. Remember when we kind of lost our shit there? At the end? And we were on about the
end?
At the Skittles ad.
Oh, yeah.
Right? I'm going to add on to a point about this advert that has many layers. Can he touch himself?
What are you talking about?
Can he touch what?
The Skittles man. The fellow who turns everything into Skittles.
Can he touch what?
Can he touch himself?
No.
Or
can he
will
touch himself?
He turn into Skittles himself?
He would.
I don't think so, because like whatever's causing him to make things turn into Skittles is probably keeping him from making himself turn into Skittles. The problem is when he touches anything else, it turns into Skittles.
Now, if he fell, would he turn the whole...
The questions...
If he fell and his hands touched the ground, would he turn the whole earth into Skittles? Is this man dead?
There are so many questions.
We need to get on to Skittles.
No, the fact is, the guy has clothes on him.
Yeah.
Right. So
how the hell did he get dressed?
Right. So it only seems anyway. Yeah. So it only seems anyway. His hands are the ones that turns everything into Skittles, which is a fucked up superpower when you think about it, right?
As far as we know, because all we've seen is him touching stuff with his hands. And as it says in the ad, he has a child which he can't hold.
No, which he doesn't have anymore. I think that was the joke that was in the Uncut version of that ad.
Oh, so he actually has already turned the child into Skittles?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, God, he's a murderer then, so.
Yeah.
But that means if he went to prison, then he just turned the prison cell into Skittles and he just break out again.
Yeah, just turned everything else into Skittles, like.
So how do we know he isn't just an escaped prisoner who just happens to be in a library trying to avoid getting caught? Because why would a prisoner go to a library?
This is great. Next, we'll be talking about the M&M ads going. How did they come alive? Who gave birth to you?
Well, who did?
What?
To be fair, especially if you watch the American ones, because there's so many other variations of the M&Ms. Like they have a caramel one. They have a peanut one. They have a dark chocolate one. I'm not trying to be racist, but I'm pretty sure in the ad is a black guy.
One second now, right? Back to the Skittles ad, right? Mom, so the Skittles ad where your man turns everything into Skittles. Yeah. Right? So if he touches himself, would he in himself turn into Skittles? Yeah. She's saying, yeah.
There we go. It is decided.
The thing is, no, I don't think so.
I don't know.
Because
that man's scared.
How would he have gotten through life so far without touching himself in any kind? Like, I mean,
maybe he realized.
Like, if you itch, if you have an itch and you go and scratch yourself, oh shit! I've killed myself again.
Wait, now you're implying that he reforms into the man after he turns himself into Skittles.
Yeah.
The thing is, he could be like the chairman.
Maybe he's like the Sandman. The Sandman for Skittles. Just give him the sand. And
oh my god, he is! So hang on a second. Every time he turns something into Skittles, that then becomes part of him and he becomes taller.
Fuck me.
What on earth?
So hang on a second. By any chance, like in Spider-Man, was it 3 or was it Spider-Man? Yeah, Spider-Man 3. When the Sandman was being formed, he went into that big thing that kind of was filled with sand, got mixed up in with the sand. So I'm assuming the Skittles factory has something similar, and he ended up inside the thing with all the Skittles, and that's where it all started.
Maybe he of the Skittles that come out of the giraffe that gets milked, and it gave him superpowers.
That's another one.
Oh God.
The other thing is, hang on a second, because that's all about tasting the rainbow. Does that mean in that world? Oh, hang on, it rains Skittles as well.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, Skittles guy though, if he touches a Skittle, what does it do? Does it break up into a million little Skittles again, or does it?
Or does it turn into something else?
Yeah.
Like, because like the whole thing is, how do we know that the Skittles weren't something before they became Skittles? So if he touches the Skittles, they turn back into what they were beforehand. Like, how do we know at the end of that ad he just doesn't touch that pile of Skittles and it turns back into a desk and chairs?
Yeah,
no.
Who knows?
So what the worst thing is, the man can solve world hunger and doesn't seem like he's anyway interested in doing that. I mean, I know the Skittles and they're very.
I don't think a diet of Skittles is the answer to world hunger.
No.
He could help it though. He could help it.
You may have a variation of fruits, but that's about it.
We can get them diet Skittles, be grand.
I mean, in all fairness, I don't think they'd appreciate it if you gave them a giraffe that instead of producing actual milk, it produced more Skittles.
Giraffes don't really have milk anyway, do they?
They're mammals. They do have milk. We just don't drink the giraffe milk. I don't think
really?
So. Oh, they might actually do something. Well, they're a mammal. All mammals produce milk.
I don't. I'm a mammal.
Yeah.
But you're male or female mammals.
Fucking mammals, you too.
Well, you didn't specify that.
Although, if I remember from an episode of Home and Away years ago, when Vinny was lactating, under certain conditions, males can produce milk.
What a fucking reference! Jesus Christ! Oh my God! I got completely taken aback by that. I would never have expected you throwing out a fucking Home and Away reference in the fucking entirety of this podcast, and a very specific home and away reference as well. Like,
it is very, very specific.
it's like a specific story. Like the last thing, every time I watch Home and Away, I watch one episode of Home and Away every 6 or 7 months, and every time I watch it, there's like a whole like new cast in it, and I'm just like,
who the fuck are these people?
Like Bear.
Yeah, I seen an episode the last day. I was like, don't know you, don't know you. Irene, I know her. Don't know you, don't know you, don't know you.
Irene. It's Irene, Alf, the blonde one that used to be in Emmerdale.
Well, yeah, but she was always in Home and Away before that. She was married to Dawn.
Now, can I ask, would the Skittles man be in the Home and Away universe? Discuss.
Would he be? No, depends. Is the Skittle guy in the same world as the giraffe that produces Skittle milk?
The Skittleverse.
The Skittles.
See, there's very, very different Skittle ads that are just. Are they all part of the same Skittle world, or are they different ones?
I'm assuming they're all part of the same
It's like the Marvel DC universe where you're just not 100% sure what's linked and what's
or
not.
Like Marvel, how like the Fantastic Four have never appeared in any of the Avengers or shit like
but
that.
They're not part of the same universe. They're not part of the same. We all know that.
Marvel / DC. I want to say slash.
DC. I hope the Skittle man exists in the DC universe, because then he would literally be the most powerful being on the planet.
Oh, could you imagine him as a villain?
Oh my god!
Don't come any closer, I'm going to turn the whole city into Skittles.
All I have to do is just touch you. My fingertip has to touch you and you die.
But then again, if you had someone like Superman would probably just use like laser or whatever just to cut off his hands, and then he'd be like, ah, fuck.
No, but all you gotta do then is go like that to the lasers and they all turn into Skittles.
Oh! I nearly had a spasm in my leg. I do not want that to be seen on YouTube.
Right, I think we have some interesting stuff to discuss after this when we usually do our post-thing chat. We're going to come back to this, don't you worry.
Oh,
yeah,
just
look, we've all seen OTT. Can we just discuss it, because I really want to talk about it.
I was going to say that. Let's just Homecoming, let's get over with, and then we can go on Skittles, man.
Right, talk about Homecoming, but I haven't watched the entirety of it yet.
It's okay. You can just sit there eating food or whatever. It's grand.
Have you just like started it and stopped at a certain point, or have you picked a certain
I was halfway through. I just finished the Haskins and
Adam Brooks.
The Haskins match. That was the last one I finished, I think.
Okay.
You've literally got the best half of the show left to watch.
Yeah, I haven't finished it yet. I'm kind of waiting for Amy to get off it so I can throw it on myself and get onto it myself.
Not that they're sharing a login detail or anything. That would be totally wrong.
No. You have your own subscription there.
Yeah, totally. Amy is just his friend who's on his computer right now.
Well, by the way, can we just point out, Amy gave us her OTT login, no problem, right? Alex then, on the other hand, didn't even decide to even offer it and go, lads, if one of you are on it, you can use my one too. No, because Alex is a bit of a fucking tight cunt, it seems.
I don't have one.
So, don't you?
I don't have one.
I would have just assumed that you did.
I go to the show.
I tried. When I was watching it, I was trying to watch it on this little netbook. I couldn't actually watch the show on a quality higher than 480 full screen, or else the thing would stick like fucking mad.
Pivot share is horrendous.
Good God Almighty!
I got 1080p out of mine, but just barely.
Yeah, I'm assuming yours has more RAM. Like, what the hell has this got? This has 1 gigabyte of RAM. Jesus Christ! How the hell does this even work? Like, my old laptop has 4 gigabytes of RAM, but it currently doesn't work because I think my power connection needs to be resoldered.
Right, let's go on to OTT because I'm going to talk about the first 3 matches that I've seen because that's all I can really talk about.
Start. What's your thoughts on the new venue?
My thoughts on the new venue. The only thing I will say, being there, it was perfectly fine. Everything worked out grand. For some reason, it doesn't come across quite as well on the on-demand. Yeah. The atmosphere doesn't come across the exact same.
It came across fine, but
audio,
you kind of knew that it was a small.
Well, either. Like the times when the commentators are louder than the actual in-ring performers on the mic.
Yeah.
Like I'm pretty sure I missed parts of the LJ Cleary and
the sound was the biggest problem I had.
Just that needs to be addressed for it.
Yeah, you kind of knew that when they were talking on the microphones that they were only picking up the sound that was around them, that the sound wasn't kind of like connected to the cameras or connected to the video in any way. Do you know what I mean?
Oh. That's just one little criticism, but like in general, like for being there for the live experience, it's a really good venue. They just need to address some little small things, like as people were saying, the toilet situation was a problem.
Yeah.
Also, the location of the merch table to be right beside the door for the toilets and right beside the bar was a terrible idea because that's just where all of the people were congregating and you really didn't know which queue was which.
Yeah, I was saying...
they would just need to space things out a little bit better for that.
And I was standing in the bar line without realising it. And I was like, oh, bollocks. These people are getting beer. I want merch. And then it's so unorganised at the merch tables as well. It was quite bad, but I'd say they could fix that. There's a lot of room.
But it is their first show. It's like after that they'll know how to change. But that's just the criticism. The only criticism people had was they announced it was halfway through the show to tell us there were other toilets available behind the entrance curtain.
Oh yeah,
but
they were like, lads,
they were unavailable during entrances. So you would have to only use them during matches.
Yeah.
So something just needs to be addressed about that. But space-wise, there was 700 people. I think they were saying.
Yeah.
That's a very, very good crowd because in Tivoli it's about 200-300 at the most.
Which?
In the Tivoli.
About 400 they usually said.
400? Okay. Oh yeah, because they have standing as well, yeah.
Yeah.
So like 700 is a what's the capacity for the ringside club?
About 200, I'd say.
Okay, so yeah, in all fairness, the way it's going, like Sherwood seems to be the new venue. I'd be pretty happy if it was because, especially for transport, the Lewis is just right outside the door. Much easier for people to get to.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the new venue or potential new venue?
I think it's good. I think it probably came across very professional on thing. Like it reminds me of some of the Fight Club setups I've seen where it looks like a proper wrestling show, whereas sometimes it typically just looked like an underground Fight Club, which is kind of cool as well. Reminds me of the garage.
Well, yeah,
Progress used to run it.
Yeah, because the Tivoli has a much darker feel to it.
Yeah, it has that little bit of a cooler sense, but at the same time, the arena looks really upscale, proper. Like OGT looks like a proper wrestling promotion running there. I think the only problem was the whatever hold up some of the fixtures wasn't done right. So like whenever somebody do something to like almost hit off it, the trainees would fucking themselves. They need to fix that out.
Sorry, what?
One of the things that was holding up, I think it was the lights, wasn't secured to the ground or something. So they had a trainee sitting next to it holding it all the time. And whenever somebody had knocked off it, they were shit. So they're gonna have to try and situate them some way, and the entrance way is a bit cramped as well.
Yeah, it's like I suppose that's the only other place they could enter from unless they were willing to enter from the emergency exit.
Yeah.
Would that work?
I'm not sure. They could. They'll sort it out.
Could they legally use an emergency exit as an entrance?
I don't even mean that entranceway. I mean like the wrestler's entranceway.
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about that as well? Are you?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. And they could, but then you'd be moving back everything as well, closer to the bar again. You'd have to have a bigger path for them to walk through, and you'd have to either put more seats on the other side or move the ring back. I don't know. They've a lot of room to work with.
The only thing I can't really speak for is I don't know what the view is like for everybody. Like, I know for myself, I could see perfectly okay in the fourth row, apart from the guy who was sitting in front of me with the massive head, who kept standing repeatedly and wouldn't sit down until I poked him. But because it's a flat area, the more rows and the further back you are, the harder it will be to see at certain times. But I can't speak for those people, so I don't know if that is the case or not.
Yeah.
I'm only basing it on what it was like for the older setup of the WWE shows in the 3 Arena before they changed the layout. Because I know I'd bought the ringside section before, and it was like second row from the back. You know when they used to have seating up beside where the stage is.
Yeah.
And they used to enter from over where one of the exits is or whatever. So like if you were back there, if anyone stood up at all, you couldn't see anything.
Mm. I think that'll always be the problem though with these kind of all seating venues, but at the same time, if you were standing in the Tivoli, it'd be much worse. I think less people could see.
True.
Than the ringside, or not the ringside, the arena.
True. Right. That's the whole thing. I can't compare that. Like I've been blessed that the only shows I've been to before this is the stadium, where
Stadium's
you have
great
a
for
perfect view. You have a perfect view no matter where you're sitting.
I suppose I don't know. It's another thing. They'll get there early, but some people were saying you could stroll in half an hour early and you could still get a good seat, so that's good as well.
Well, yeah, that was the other thing as well. Like we queued for what, about 2:00.
Yeah.
And in the first hour we were there, only about 2 more people came to the back of the queue, so we could have came in later. But then, if you had VIP or general admission with the Q&A, you could just stroll in because there were so many people without it.
To be honest,
yeah.
But I think there'd be more front row seats at least though. So like VIP would seat a lot more people. So there's less of a rush then, and people can just stroll in if they want. If you have VIP, you're guaranteed those 3 rows. Yeah,
the other thing as well, there wasn't like there's more, I think, seats in the first 4 rows than there was for meet and greets, or sorry, the VIP.
Was there?
Well, like, did it not end up being that there were people in the VIP seats that weren't VIP?
Oh yeah, there was, but I wouldn't say they probably sold out all of the VIP seats. They were just saying we'll get you early and basically guarantee that you get a good seat. Because if you check.
Anyways, should we get into the actual show, because Aaron hasn't got a clue about the actual thing, because we were there.
Away from that, we even put a half an hour before I just set the night off because I'm struggling here to stay awake.
You can. Is this set up on your laptop, or
it's set up and has? I still don't know how to do this.
Right, so we have to finish this before Aaron falls asleep. So the first match was a surprise because Trent Seven came out. He did his whole thing. Trent is glorious.
To be fair, the opening thing, referencing the cold weather and the cold in the actual arena was a nice little touch.
That was good. Everybody breathe on me.
Try and warm me up.
Trent, yes. I always wanted to breathe on you, make you warm.
Can I point out, because these are one of the few things that I actually watched, because as I said, I've already watched about 3 matches, I think, in total. The fact that the very first thing I seen on the on demand was Amy giving cheek to the person in the ring was quite hilarious. That's the first thing you see is just Amy just like it was funny. Go on.
So Trent was meant to face Ryan Smile, but of course Ryan Smile suffered an injury to his isosceles Pythagoras theorem, and was absent from the show.
Right. Can I ask what they actually suffer an injury from?
I don't know. Apparently he's gone MIA, because he did the whole thing with Lucha Forever, and Will Ospreay basically went, Ryan's not answering my messages, he's taken all your money, and I don't know what the fuck's happened. So Ryan Smile's kind of really shown himself to be a rather strange guy, but you never really know with Ryan Smile. Could just be a mental episode or something. You just never know. But
could very well be.
Basically put it the nice way and said he has an injury to his isosceles Pythagoras theorem and made us all laugh. Then it was like a challenge to anyone, and we got Keen Star.
Can we just say I love the fact that he was challenging anyone in the arena, and one of the guys in the crowd, me, and he proceeded to lie on his back and go, "Yeah, come on, you can have a 1-0 victory."
That was gas.
Actually, no, don't. There isn't the guardrail.
Yeah, Trent is just so good.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
LJ really is somebody who's just ready. Do you know, this isn't his first time filling in on the main roster, and he's always looked really good whenever he does it. And he gets a big pop as well. People love him.
I'm quite delighted. It was the first time I got to see him live, and especially because I wasn't expecting him either.
His music,
his entrance is brilliant.
You're just
absolutely brilliant. It really just gets the crowd going.
And he has that as his entrance theme. I don't know what the fuck's happening there.
But yeah, the whole then banter about about Trent being Tyler's dad. And then the whole crowd chanting, "There's your son."
Oh, yes.
The fact that Kane is over in OTT is kind of hilarious.
You know, he did at Fly Factory as well. Kane was at Fly Factory, and LJ comes over, and he just goes, "Look, can you just not follow me to every show? I can't have you stalking me. I can't keep doing this."
And of course, he was there the next night as well.
It was just. I love LJ. He's just so good. And I remember saying that after the first Contender show, I was like, he's the best one. And
I don't
attention, but it's definitely LJ that's the best one.
I don't know if LJ has realized this, but if he wants to further his career, he needs to embrace this connection with Keen.
Probably, yeah. Keen has near 400 subscribers on YouTube. He's legit in this.
He's getting out there.
Yeah. But the match was good, though, wasn't it? Yes.
It was a really good opening match, especially for a match that wasn't scheduled to happen.
Yeah. Like I said, I only found out a few hours before what was happening.
That's
same with that.
That spot as well at the start with the chop when he ducked and chopped the fucking ring post. And then then Trent ducked, and then LJ Clary hit it. The two of them went, that was a bit too much. I'm sorry. And then just did the thing with the I was like, that was very good. I like that now.
That was very good. It happened on the other side of the ring, though, so I didn't really see it. I just went, that looked gas.
Yeah, that's why I was delighted to rewatch it, because anything that happened on the other side of the ring, you wouldn't really know.
Yeah.
You can just be basing it on reactions. But anyway, yeah.
Good opener. Good to see LJ. Great to see Trent, because I love Trent. Trent seemed to really enjoy it, so that was good. It
really was a good opener. It kind of set a tone for the night.
It did. What was the second match? Was the second match Haskins, or was there a different one?
I'm nearly sure the second match was Haskins against...
Haskins and Adam Brooks.
No, it couldn't have been, because that's the one you're on.
Yeah, when the second match, the fucking intergender title match, wasn't it?
Was it the second match? It was, actually, I think.
Wow.
It was either the Haskins match or the intergender title match. It was one or the other.
Or was it? No, it wasn't Zack Sabre, was it?
Adam Brooks and Thing first, I suppose. Um,
I'm actually lost about the second match. What was
I've
what's
seen
the
other
second?
Brooks fight. What?
I'm very confused on what the second match was.
I think it was the
You're
internet.
saying that you're currently on the Haskins match.
I finished it.
You finished that match.
Did you see the internet?
So what match are you currently on?
I saw the Internet title match, but I skipped most of it because it's not really my thing. Like,
Whatever.
You're not helping.
Yeah, but we'll just do Haskins and Brooks. It doesn't really matter all that much.
Bill Haskins and Brooks. I did watch one bit from the Internet title match I'll talk about that I actually quite enjoyed. Yeah.
Haskins and Brooks, if I remember anything from that match, that was a very hard-hitting match.
Yeah, two piss out of each other was great.
So, and I don't. Maybe he's just a different wrestler than what I'm looking for. But every time I've gone, like, he's decent, but I wouldn't really book him if I was running a promotion. Like, he's all right though.
Ooh.
Adam Brooks.
Oh,
Because he has all this hype coming from Australia, where it was like he's the best wrestler to have ever come out of Australia, and it was like he's not.
Is he not from New Zealand?
No, I don't know.
So why does he got all the New Zealand stuff on him?
I suppose he's a heel. He plays his heel role, and he doesn't. You don't like him at all. But like, I wanted more.
Yeah, because those fucking people from New Zealand with their fucking rugby and Maoris.
The haka.
Bastards.
Yeah.
I know why he was supposed to fucking. I think he might be
Hang
from
on,
New
you're
Zealand.
telling me he's not from New Zealand?
I don't know. I think he's Australian because he wrestled.
Why the fuck has he got? Why the hell has he got the Kiwi leaf on him and the fucking New Zealand flag around his bloody head?
I don't know. Look, I don't care, to be honest. I don't like him. So.
Right, so you're just going to call him Australian anyway? Okay, fair enough.
No, this is Alex's logic on it. He wrestled in Australia, but then he must be Australian. I don't see any other bit of logic that will
So Pete Dunne's Irish, like. So, like, his name's Dunne, like, he's about to be Irish.
Yeah, that's true.
No, I think he's New Zealand, but he wrestled most of his wrestling in Australia because I think that's where most of the wrestling was on down there. Wrestling in Australia has been around for quite. Where did tag team wrestling originate from? Australia.
Okay. Anyway.
Australia.
Isn't he?
Terrible.
Mark Haskins is always great though.
Mark Haskins is good though. I quite like him. He's alright. I like the start of that match though. That like it didn't just start off with like a typical wrestling match. It was just fucking Brooks just going, "Fuck you," just knocked him off the top of the turnbuckle. Fuck you. Do you see that? Do you see that, Alex? That's what a story is. That's what a story is.
Mm-hmm.
Alex, guess where he got at the start of that match? Heat.
I know.
Because according to you, most wrestlers these days don't care about hating, they only care about entertaining the audience. This man started off the match by entertaining the audience by getting heat.
1 in 5 matches on the card had heat. Great. Anyway. Yeah, you try to be smarmy with me, I'll be smarmy back. Don't worry. Anyway. Haskins won, didn't he? In the end, he did his sharpshooter.
He ended with was it him that ended with the weird submission, or was that Zack Sabre?
That was Zack Sabre. Basically, Zack Sabre Jr. legs was just, how the fuck is he doing that? Oh, jeez, that's sore. How the fuck? But we'll get onto that later. But yeah, so Haskins won. It's decent. Like, I wouldn't.
I suppose it kind of makes sense, like, because if he was to lose that match, it's like, well, he's lost the title, then to go and lose in his next match.
Like, he'll forever be in that kind of. It's kind of like how he is in Progress. He's always in and around the title scene, but he might not win it again.
I was actually genuinely offended when I was looking up his Wikipedia profile, and there had been no mention that he was OTT champion, so I had to try and see about rectifying that. I don't know if my changes were accepted.
No such thing as the OTT champion. It was the NLW champion.
Yeah, but do you know what I mean? Like, there was no even mention of that.
Oh, bastards. Yeah, so then the third match was the gender neutral title match. This was quite gas. Angel Cruz, Be Cool, Chucky T, and Martina. A lot of people were really excited. Like he was like, everybody was like, I want to see Chucky T, and I was like, okay.
Who doesn't want to see Chuck E. T? I don't even like comedy in wrestling, and I even find Chuck E. T quite an enjoyable wrestler.
I don't like Chuck E. T, but it's like I'm here for like Keith Lee more than Chuck E. T. But you know, you do you, peeps. You know,
big ups to the guy who made Converse.
A fella who decides to get injured, go to the back, come back out as his sister, and that's
only just what the commentator said.
That's not what he did.
It's not as though he came out and goes, "I'm Chuck Taylor's sister."
But the commentators were probably told beforehand, say that I'm his sister or some shit.
Can I just say, Humperdinck is one of the worst commentators I've ever heard in my life and doesn't seem to know how to fucking use the microphone compared to Angus.
Wow.
It's like, you listen to Angus, clear as a bell. Humperdinck, Jesus Christ of Almighty.
Yeah.
I know it may be your first time doing the commentary for them, but fucking have a practice beforehand.
When Don went on, when Don was gone for a month or two, he covered commentary.
Well, obviously he didn't learn anything because he's terrible. He is a terrible commentator. I'd rather just have Angus on his own.
I'm sorry, breaking news. OTT have announced the Kings of the North versus LJ Cleary, Nate Martin, and Darren Carney for next week's Contender Show. Fuck yes. Yeah, so RIP the young lads, because the Kings are gonna fucking brutalize them.
Yeah, they're kind of gonna be. They're not gonna be happy, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, so I don't know. I liked the gender neutral title match.
I thought it was a very, very good match.
I did like this.
I love the start of it,
and then we came back, and it was like.
I love the part where Be Cool and Angel Cruz were trying to just constantly win the title by just like fucking everyone else out of the ring and trying to cover each other.
Can I just cut over you, because this was on the Observer, right? This is completely away from OTT. Apparently, Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon were supposed to be in the Royal Rumble, and they were supposed to eliminate each other. But they feared that if that happened, Nakamura would get booed because Daniel Bryan got knocked out, so they cut it to save Nakamura's win for being a special thing. What?
Ooh. So they cleared Daniel Bryan to be in the ring.
If, honest to God, if they'd put Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan into the Rumble just to progress a storyline between themselves, I would have fucking raised at that, because that's just ridiculous.
I wouldn't have given a shit. Do you not realize how much I want Daniel Bryan in a wrestling ring again? Just to fucking
That's not the way I want to see Daniel Bryan in the ring getting eliminated from the Royal Rumble by Shane McMahon.
They've clearly cleared him for competition, so he's getting a match at Mania, I'd assume.
Well, the way it's going to be him versus Shane at WrestleMania.
Which, let's be honest, that's not a bad thing. The two lads will probably put on a great match.
I'm not saying it is, but it's just like, if they had done that at the Rumble, yeah, damn right there would have been boos. Because in all fairness, that would have ruined that Rumble. That Rumble was a very, very good Rumble, one of the best in years, and that would have fucking overshadowed it.
Very
brought Daniel Bryan back just for that.
Yeah, true. Then again, they did bring him back last time just to fuck him over the top rope not long after. So.
That was... So what?
It wasn't properly got at that stage.
Anyway, let's get back to OTT before we go on a fucking tangent here. Because I'm shutting down.
That was a nice tangent, though, to be fair.
Yeah, I loved it when Chuck came back. He was like, I'm not going to hit a woman, I'm a gentleman. And he comes back dressed as Martina. Yes. And it's like,
my mother always said, never hit a woman.
He's just standing there going, no, I'm not.
And then he came back as the gentlewoman.
It was the shoulder block thing that made me kind of go, oh, this makes so much sense. Because it's like, he's trying to show, he's like, why didn't that work? And he's just standing there going, yeah, man, yeah. If she can't shoulder block Chuck E. T, how is she supposed to shoulder block Pete Dunne?
Are you trying to say that Chuck Taylor and Pete Dunne are the same size?
What?
Is Pete
Have
Dunne not
you
like
seen
weird?
the size of Chuck Taylor?
Am I wrong?
Yeah, he's a very skinny individual.
Yeah, but he's got
I'm trying
muscles.
Not that skinny, no.
What? No, what I was no.
He's
See,
a
that's
de-
oh my god.
He's a
Right, so
decently built man and very tall.
all right, so I've only ever seen him on video. I've never seen him in person. To me, on video, he's one of those typical looking indie wrestling types, which is like I'm tall and I've
Who?
got a decent looking Chuck Taylor. I'm tall and I've got a decent looking body, but I've also got like it looks like I've got no muscle definition. He never really looks like he was ever gonna. Yeah, but see, on video, he never looks like he's got like this like clean cut body. It's always like he's just a very skinny lad that's just
Yeah, but
just
even
in
compared
shape.
to everyone else in that match, he looks massive.
Yeah.
He looked tall, all right, yeah. I mean, I maybe it was just that match, but I look at him going, I just assumed that he was like 5'6", 5'7". I just assumed he was that tall for some reason. It was only when he was in a match taller than everybody else, I was like, oh damn, he's about 6 foot. He's tipping us in front of me.
So, your perception isn't everything. But, yeah.
We'll not get back into that argument again, but yeah.
I said perception.
Hold on, no. Somebody messing going.
I didn't say I got
Who do you think you fucking are? Huh?
I'm Jesus. I originated the universe. What I do is law, bitch.
Another thing as well, because I'm going to think of news as we go on. WWE now has the rights to all the broken stuff that was in TNA, so they can use all that footage.
Is it WWE or Matt Hardy?
No, WWE can use any of the footage from TNA that they used through the broken Hardy.
But is it actually the in-ring stuff, or is it the stuff that they did?
Anything.
Because that would be right, because that was all filmed by Matt and himself. It was like all done in their stuff, so that would be fair. It wasn't filmed by TNA.
No, but this is where then it's completely different. Matt owned the gimmick and everything for the gimmick. So if TNA ever wanted to use it again, they had to license it off Matt to use his image. Whereas to get the footage in itself, WWE had to license it off TNA because they already had the rights off Matt. They just needed to ask TNA and go, can we use everything you use, like the fucking deletion and the fucking decay or delete and all that.
I don't really understand that because they didn't film it.
But it's still TNA's. It was still used on their show.
That's
what I mean?
A bit of a ball, that. Yeah, so I know what you mean.
Anyway, they have the rights to it now anyway, so I'm assuming they're going to use it at some point in the future.
Vince McMahon will not use Broken Matt Hardy because he didn't create it.
I think they are. They are because even Matt's referencing in his tweets and his videos on YouTube. Broken Matt is coming back.
He goes, "You were successful outside my company, but I'm going to tweak you, make you mine."
Vince has given Matt the entire run.
See, this is money. This gimmick is money. It just needs to flesh itself out a little bit.
Matt Hardy has constantly reinvented himself with gimmicks after gimmicks. I think Vince is well aware of this and knows how well he brought Matt back when he was fired to be part of that storyline with Edge. He knows Matt's money.
Yeah, he knows his gimmick is money. He's not,
but it's not a Vince creation, so he's not going to like it.
See, this is the difference. And this is very plain because he actually quite likes Matt Hardy. Matt Hardy was a WWE guy before he was Broken Matt Hardy.
Exactly. That's the difference.
Yeah, that's the difference. So it's not like when the Road Warriors came in and they switched it to they switched it from the Road Warriors to the Legion of Doom. It's not that. He knows his gimmick is money, but they have to hit the reset button on it for him to come in. They can't just go, here's Vanguard 1, here's the fucking janitor, here's Broken Matt, here's his fucking wife.
All of those are coming because Matt has the entire creative control. That's the reason why they hired that guy from TNA. What do you call him?
Jeremy Borash.
Yeah.
He's
because he was the guy who edited and produced all of the Broken Matt stuff. But I don't think Vince has went, oh yeah, we need him. That's come from Matt himself.
He's a Triple H guy, he's not a Vince hiring at all.
I know that, but that hiring will have come from Matt.
Yeah, but also the fact that Vince needs to go, who the fuck is this fella? Why are we hiring him? They'd have to persuade him to do it. So at the end of the day, Triple H may have come up with the idea and may have presented it to Vince. It's still a Vince McMahon fucking okay.
He still works in
exactly,
NXT.
but it's not. It was never Vince's idea. Do you know what I mean? Somebody else had to bring the idea to him.
Vince's idea. It's just he still has to okay it. He's not going to just hire someone because Triple H went, "Here, bud, great signing this for me." He has to get persuaded to do it.
He's working in NXT. That's his role. He's not. His role is not the main roster.
It doesn't matter. It's still a
How do we know?
We don't know.
Look, by the way, Vince McMahon is not going to let the broken stuff get over because he didn't create it. And history shows that. I will laugh in your face when in 2 months Matt Hardy is nothing but a laughing twat.
Whoa. Did Liam Miller die?
Who?
What?
I think Liam Miller died.
Who?
Liam Miller.
The former Man United winger.
Yeah, he's dead.
I know he's dying. I know he had cancer. Is he dead, yeah?
Yeah, apparently he died, yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Passed away in Cork tonight.
Shit.
Sorry to bring down the tone of that, but I'm just saying it there. Fuck.
You're not bringing down a ton of that. I just said that the broken stuff is terrible and you were going to murder me, so.
Vince, give me creative control over this character and I guarantee you I can make money. And Joe Vince, all he hears is money.
Money.
Oh, I like money.
Yeah, there you go. Like the
man
fact is, if he knows, like I said, like because Matt did a lot of the filming and stuff for that on TNA. If Matt can go here, I can do this. It won't cost you a thing. I'll film it all myself. All Vince is hearing, it's not going to cost me anything, and you're going to make me money. Go ahead.
It's not a Vince McMahon creation, so he's not going to let it fly. Like I want it to.
He's already letting it fly. There's no way he'd be letting Matt, because Matt's doing it on YouTube and Twitter already. He's already bringing in the Vanguard one on YouTube.
Call yourself Woken, and you can funny laugh, and that's all he's done. All Woken Hardy done is laugh at Bray Wyatt in a weird way. That's pretty much it.
That's what most of his shit was in TNA.
No, it was a layered character that was broken and had fun stuff into it, not just a laugh. Okay, and I will laugh in your face when in 3 or 4 months, Broken Matt Hardy is as hard as the Woken shit has. Because Vince McMahon didn't create it, so it's not going to fly.
It's like listening.
I don't know if you're watching the same product as us, but Broken Matt Hardy is happening, and Broken Matt Hardy is going to work.
Well, Woken Matt Hardy happened, and it was terrible, and he got jobbed out to Bray Wyatt in like 2 minutes on Raw 25. So yeah, they definitely love him. You know, Vince McMahon, the guy who had Goldberg, and who was printing.
They have plans to do another final deletion involving Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy.
Brought in the NWA, single-handedly murdered it within about a year and didn't make any money off it. So yeah, he has a great track record.
Wow, you're basing your argument on Goldberg in the early 2000s.
Because Vince McMahon does not like things he didn't create. It's very apparent.
Let's talk about Jake the Snake. Hulkamania is negating everything you've just said, considering the fact that's a Vern Gagne fucking invention.
Yeah, but Vince McMahon has retold history so that we made Hulkamania. Oh,
well, Jesus, that didn't happen then. Fuck. You have lost me by Jesus Christ. You win. Hey, Alex pointed out the fact that Vince, we were in history, so it's not like he could fucking do Matt Hardy or anything. No. Fucking Jesus.
All I'm saying is, I'm not getting my hopes up because I know Vince McMahon won't let.
He knows. Do you talk to Vince in your off time? Yeah. Yeah. Do conversations with Vince McMahon in your off time?
People usually work on precedent. I know, like Vince McMahon has set a tone for himself that when it's not his creation, he doesn't push it. And he's not
Can I just
push.
Can I just
ask? I want
ask?
to call my heart and push him, and in the way people want. So look, I'm gonna laugh at everyone.
Hang on a second. You're saying he doesn't
Alex.
produce something he hasn't made himself.
The Road Warriors was not his gimmick. It got over. Sting.
AJ Styles hasn't changed. Samoa Joe hasn't changed.
Yes.
And how many titles has he put on Samoa Joe? How many feuds has he?
Samoa Joe keeps getting injured.
Samoa Joe keeps getting injured, and Samoa Joe's also just had a bad luck with booking. Away from that, your argument is fucking invalid because of a couple of stars that just didn't work out. The microphone is really close to my face right now because all I want to do is fucking strangle you out my bare fucking hands. We get over that from this moment onwards because you're fucking annoying me, right? So what I'm trying to say is that it doesn't matter if Vince genuinely sees money in this gimmick, he'll go with it. Why? Because it's money. And shockingly enough,
it won't cost him anything to make it.
He will.
People overestimate Vince a lot.
Says Alex Richards that lives in Dublin, who apparently is on personal phone calls and has met Vince and deals with him on a daily basis. So Jesus Christ, lads. What?
Right, yeah. So the Vince McMahon, who was about 5 minutes away from firing John Cena, the biggest star he's created in the last 10 years, knows what he's talking about.
When he was going to fire John Cena was a bland babyface with no real fucking direction. And if it wasn't for a chance fucking happening where Stephanie McMahon saw him rap, he was going to still get fired. Why? Because that was the first.
He was going to make Stone Cold Steve Austin the ringmaster, only for Stone Cold Steve Austin went off script. Certainly deserves to be trusted. Vince McMahon, the guy who's going to push The Rock, babyface, until the crowd said die, Rocky, die.
He went off script. There was no script writers in the WWF writing their promos in the mid-fucking 90s.
Okay, well, you know what? That's great. Stone Cold made himself a star. Vince McMahon did not make Stone Cold a star.
So where is your whole point of Vince won't push someone if he didn't make it? Vince doesn't make stars.
You people seem to say that whenever Vince sees money, he pounces. Vince does not see money. He falls upon great opportunities, as is proven time and time again. Okay.
Right. What I'm going to do, right, is I'm going to leave the microphone by itself. This is all you're going to see for about 30 seconds as I grab a pillow and scream into it because you have infuriated me in ways that can't really be described right now. We started with OTT and now we're in a fucking argument about how you have absolutely no idea what the fuck you're talking about. You're also probably one of these people who doesn't think that he saw money in Daniel Bryan, where looking back on it, it was some of the greatest booking he's ever done. Bar none.
That's why he jobbed him out in 18 seconds to Sheamus. He didn't stumble upon that either.
That was before they saw money in him. Before he was getting super over. The yes chance just started before.
He didn't see money in him early, did he?
He lost because of AJ.
No one did. Everyone said he wasn't going to make it the WWE because he was too small. It took him another year and a half for him to get to that point where he was viable to be a WWE champion. Jesus Christ, Alex. Fucking think, boy.
When they jobbed him out in 18 seconds, like.
That helped him! That helped him! And also helped fucking Sheamus. That was the point of the angle.
That caused the change from no to yes.
Yes. But still. They stumbled upon that.
But guess what, Alex? Guess what, Alex? But for the 4 months before that, he was still the top champion on fucking SmackDown.
Yeah, SmackDown, the B show. Yeah. You're overestimating Vince McMahon. He stumbled upon some great opportunities.
Man that managed to completely and utterly dismantle and kill the territory business, create the biggest wrestling company in history, stick around for nearly 30 fucking years since he did that, create some of the biggest stars in pop culture. The Rock, Stone Cold, fucking Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan alone is fucking amazing. And the only time he genuinely had any trouble in that company was when the wrestling business took a dip in the night between 93 and 95. That was the only time it took any real dip that was anything serious. That was the only time it didn't work out for him. It's Vince McMahon. He's the greatest wrestling businessman ever. Fucking bar nobody.
Oh, he's a great businessman. I'll give him that.
He's probably forgotten more about the wrestling business in the last 20 minutes than any of us sitting right here on this fucking shitty little podcast will ever learn. By the way, keep listening to the IWF Video Podcast and on audio form on Chromecast on Castbox. Your argument is fucking like so flawed.
Actually not though.
It actually irritates me that people genuinely think that Vince McMahon doesn't get the wrestling business. It fucking baffles me.
You know what, Aaron? I'm not going to argue with you. I'm going to show you one thing. Listen to a podcast this week called The Voices of Wrestling Flagship. The hosts of that actually go into detail when they explained that Vince McMahon is a great businessman, but he knows fuck all about booking wrestling, and that's what they've said, and that's what I believe. And they will explain it in greater detail than I. So give that a listen, and I don't care. I know Vince McMahon is very bad at booking wrestling. He's been lucky.
God,
So,
horrible. Vince McMahon's horrible. Do you know who I listen to? And the person I trust when I listen to wrestling podcasts about Vince McMahon, I listen to the Bruce Pritchard podcast. Why? Because he worked with him for 30 years.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
He was the one that worked side by side with him up until 2000 and... What year did CM Punk win his first world title? 8?
2008, yeah.
Yeah, he worked with him up to then. I'm probably going to trust that man on Vince McMahon's opinion on Vince McMahon than I am any other podcast about people who just happen to get third-hand information of other people in the company.
Oh, yeah, all right, yeah. You're not going to listen to people who actually, you know, aren't feeding off Vince McMahon's teeth and actually make objective.
Yes, because Bruce Pritchard is feeding up. Bruce Pritchard is a yes man. Bruce Pritchard got fired by the WWF once, WWE once, has worked for TNA since, and now is an independent fucking businessman that has a podcast and a mortgage company. But he's still sucking Vince McMahon's cock. He doesn't give a fuck. Even Jim Cornette has said that Vince McMahon knows the wrestling business because he's not a fucking idiot.
Nah, listen.
Fuck. But no, believe Dave Meltzer knows best. Some lads that listen to do a podcast that probably hasn't spent more than 45 minutes in a fucking room with them knows best. They're the lads that know best. Fuck it, I'm sorry.
Aaron, I've given you like at least 4 or 5 examples, and all you've done is say, no, that's not true. So
because the only examples I have to fucking give are the fact that he's kept the company up for 30. He beat the US government in a fucking court case. He's that good at what he does. He fucking that was actually neck fusion surgery. I thought that was like
he probably paid somebody off enough to win that court case. So.
No, he didn't. He fucking fought. He didn't, because that was actually he actually fucking did it. He fought them and he won because he was getting blamed for forcing steroids and giving steroids to the wrestlers, which he didn't. That was bullshit. So. He was more like, it wasn't that he was forcing the wrestlers to take steroids. It was more, which one of them are actually trying to get bigger? Oh, it's Kevin. It's that lad, is it? Slap the IC belt on him. Do you know what I mean? Like, he wasn't openly saying if he doesn't take steroids, I'm not giving him a world title shot. It was more just he wasn't openly saying stop it. He was just sort of. Oh, look, he's taking a needle. Oh, I'm looking this way. Oh, no, I don't care. Do you know what I mean? You didn't pay anyone off. Separately, Vince McMahon, I feel like the fact that the WWE is still running this today is probably a good enough reason to say he knows what he's doing. At the end of the day, the company still falls on him. He still makes the final decision and everything. He still has to okay everything. Like, anyone who brings up the John Cena argument,
he's not going to let Broken My Hearty fly as well as most people want that. It's going to be a disappointment. I'm just preparing you for that now. But we'll see, won't we?
Anyway, OTT lads. What? Because I'm just.
Yeah, where were we?
Aaron hasn't seen that in point, so he's been...
Yeah, so
well, we just finished the Intergender match, didn't we?
Yeah, so it says Travis Banks and Zack Sabre Jr. now.
Yes.
Go ahead, Dan.
Well, I'm just trying to remember. Was this the match?
Technical
Was this the
match.
last match before the intermission, or was there another match after that before the intermission?
It wasn't. It was the second last.
Yeah. Okay.
Or was it? I don't know.
To be quite, I'm not a huge fan of Zack Sabre.
Neither am I. I think it's the way he sells more than nothing else.
Who was he against again?
Oh no!
Because I keep getting mixed up between that match and the other match with Haskins. Goddamn.
Zack Sabre Jr. is a flippy cut. Go on.
What?
None.
No, who was he against again?
Travis Banks.
Yeah, Travis Banks. He's the guy. Is he the guy that's part of CCK?
Yeah. Progress World Champion.
Yeah. I'm just trying to remember. Yeah. I wasn't a huge fan of the match.
Ooh.
Because as the night was going, I thought the opener was good.
Uh-huh.
The intergender match was good. The Haskins, what the fuck's his name?
Brooks
was it? Yeah, I thought it was a good match. I thought like the way the night was going, it was kind of building, and then that match happened. And the other thing as well, the cameraman over our side seemed to be blocking quite huge chunks of that match, where there was little submissions and stuff going on.
Piss off.
Because honest to God, the way it was, is like the guys who were saying behind me is like, that's all right. We'll just wait till we see the rest of it on demand. We'll just see the bits we missed.
Yeah.
So I kind of missed chunks of it live. So when it came to watching it then on demand, I kind of still had the whole mind frame of when I was watching it live. Do you know what I mean? That probably has affected my opinion of the match. Although the end of the match was quite good. Although I don't think I actually seen it because it happened over the other side of the ring. I'm probably not the best person to talk about this match.
I don't know. It was kind of... There wasn't really much reason to give a shit going in. Like, neither of them wrestle here that regularly. And
I suppose that match was originally supposed to be Zack against Tyler Bate, wasn't it?
Yeah, like, that would have been fantastic. Because, like, Tyler Bate was over in OTT before he ever did the WWE stuff. There would have been that connection. And
yeah,
again,
so that was the one thing I felt. The crowd had got a little bit quiet during that match because I don't actually know why, but just there didn't seem to be as much behind both of those as there was for every other match.
I think it was more so everybody was kind of sat back and appreciating, because when Zack Sabre Jr. is in a ring, you really have to pay attention to what he does. He's very meticulous. You're not really going to pop, go mad. You're going to sit there, applaud.
True, he's a New Japan guy, isn't he?
Yeah. Like, it was a good match, but at the same time, it's like, would I have rather have, I don't know, Will Ospreay and Travis Banks? Like, probably. But at the same time, I'm not going to say no to seeing Zack Sabre Jr. live, because he's so good at what he does. And the amount of times during that match, you just kind of wince and how is he even bending them that way?
Yeah.
I think that's the appeal of what they kind of like. Travis didn't get much, which I was disappointed by, because Travis is quite good, especially live. But like, what can you do? I suppose it's a decent match, but again, it's not like go back and rewatch. I suppose, especially when you compare it to.
Would you say, based on what happened later on the night, that was kind of a sort of a number one contenders match?
Yeah.
Which I suppose if we had been told that beforehand, that probably would have made more sense, that match.
Yeah. I think it was just kind of like de facto number one. Because, like, Jordan Devlin, import killer, he has to face somebody who's foreign. Yeah, after that was
could you imagine, though, if it was actually Travis Banks? So you'd have Progress champion versus
Jordan Devlin.
OTT champion. Yeah.
That'd be great. Honestly, though, Travis Banks has been so overpushed in the UK in the last year. I'm just like, I don't want to see him fight for belts anymore.
Fair enough. I just thought as a progress guy, you might like it.
Like I do, but then I saw him in Fight Club and Lucha Forever and Rev Pro, and he's just everywhere. And you just kind of get sick of seeing the same people.
Okay, fair enough.
No, like slight on him. I think he's great, and if he's ever in Dublin, I'll see him. I'll watch his match. But like,
You'd rather see more variety than something you've seen a lot of.
Yeah, that's the problem with the UK kind of wrestling scene. That's why I like watching Japanese wrestling, because a lot of Japanese wrestling has no crossover. You wrestle for one company, you wrestle for one company. If you watch two different companies, you see a different show. Whereas if you watch Fight Club and Rev Pro and Progress, you're going to see a lot of the same matches, a lot of the same guys.
Yeah. That's the thing. Like, there will be lots of matches that will have happened more than once.
So that's my only complaint with Travis is he's just been everywhere. I've seen it, but he's still good.
I suppose they just pushed him like that, man, because he's kind of over with the gimmick.
Yeah, well, he wrestled so well that he's going to be over, and then he's a part of two of the best tag teams in the UK between South Pacific Power Trip and the CCK. So, the second guy, he's never the number one in the tag team. He's always the kind of second guy.
So he's the Christian.
Yeah.
He's the Devon.
He actually gets pushed, unlike those two. But like in South Pacific Power Trip, I'd take TK over Travis any day, and CCK, I'd take Chris Brooks over Travis as well. But I know that's just me. Some people might take Travis because and he's just good like that, but I wouldn't. Anyway,
that's just opinion.
Yeah, that was a good match. Anyway, I'm not putting them down at all.
No,
it's just as you'd expect from the two of them, though. They're just that good. Like,
it was a very technical match.
It was,
because there was a lot of the underground kind of yeah, exactly. That's why I think I'd like going by the pacing of the night, it kind of slowed it down again, which probably it needed to happen for what was going to happen afterwards.
Maybe that was the purpose. Maybe they sent them out there and went, "Can you just calm them down a little?" Because the next match is meant to be epic.
It's the only way I could actually justify it, because it didn't really make sense with the flow of the show. But like going by when you see the show as a whole, it made sense. There needed to be something in there to calm it down.
Yeah. Now, if that was their intention,
it really was building.
They really kept their attention while also not overdoing it, which is good. If that was their aim. But
so then we had the intermission.
No, we had Speedball and Keith Lee.
Was that the last one before? So there was two more. That was the next match.
Yes, OGT always does two after intermission.
Yeah, Keith Lee and Speedball. That's the first time I've seen both of them live. I've seen the Speedball and Riddle match from Anniversary, and I absolutely loved that match.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just can't get over that match. That match was unreal. So then but like, Jesus Christ.
Like,
it's not very often you have a big guy against a small guy that you're going to get a good match, but that match was unreal.
And it was so like against what you'd expect for it. Keith Lee didn't dominate most of the match. It was just...
I know. This thing, Aaron, you haven't seen this match yet. You need to see this match. This match was unbelievable.
I watched tomorrow because I'm definitely falling asleep in the next half hour.
Yes. So don't watch it while you're falling asleep. You need to be honest to God Almighty. Like, having seen this live and then watching it on demand, I reacted the exact same way watching it on demand as I did live, because it's just ridiculous.
Can you please get through this card a little bit faster, because I actually feel like I'm about to fall asleep on the podcast.
It's just this one we need.
Should we leave out spoilers?
No, keep going. No, because I only give a fuck about spoilers at the end of the day. If the match is good, the match is good. I'm going to enjoy it nonetheless.
Okay, but to be honest, going in.
Do you know why, lads? Because I like professional wrestling. And I like when they beat the fuck out of each other.
I like professional football, but if somebody told me the score before the end of the match, I'd fucking kill them.
Yeah, I suppose. Because then Then again, they're two completely different sports for two completely. Do you know what I mean?
If you watch honestly, I really don't think we should tell you who won between Keith Lee and Speedball.
No, but like
because the way the match goes.
No, but like I know who won between like I don't know. I know who won the UK tournament. I'm still gonna watch all the matches because they're all fucking great rock and wrestling matches. If the match is good enough, I fucking watch it. I watched the Champions League final from 2010, the one where United beat Chelsea when John Terry slipped. I've watched that. 2009 was that? 10 or 9?
Yeah.
No, 8. Yeah, sorry, 2008.
Or no, 2008.
Yeah, I've watched that a number of times, and it's still enjoyable to this day. Do you know why? Because seeing that man slip brings me immense joy. It does. Okay. And I wonder why I would bring up that match specifically. Dan, can you come up with a reason why that match specifically? I can't think of a fucking reason.
Well, I suppose because you're a Man United fan, yeah?
It could be that. It could be that. It could be that. It could be the fact as well that there's another person on this podcast that's also a Man United fan.
Yeah. That'd be me.
And there's also a person on this podcast that's a Chelsea fan, apparently.
It's all right. He probably wasn't a Chelsea fan at the time, so probably
he probably wasn't. Actually, Alex, did you switch teams over the weekend when they got battered 4-1 by Watford?
I am a Watford fan now, like. Actually, I'm a Bournemouth fan.
At least you're staying in the locality around, it's not that far away, so it's still kind of London.
Yeah, Jesus.
You're not going too far away. But I don't think I'd ever switch, to the other side of Manchester.
At least you follow teams because something good happens to him. My brother follows Arsenal because one day he saw the league table at the start of the season and went, I follow them now. Arsenal were on the top of the table.
Despite the fact that the start for every single seat, there's no...
Yeah. That's the reason. And I went, he isn't his fuck going to follow Arsenal. And what did he do? He continued to follow him and still follows them and still thinks that most of the Arsenal side is better than the Man United side and actually tries to argue with me that
can I just say, how long has Arsene Wenger been Arsenal manager?
Too long.
22 years now.
Why the hell has he not changed his first name to Arsenal? It's fucking close enough. Just fucking change your name.
I think more than anybody else, I think we all thought when we were younger that Arsenal was just named after Arsene Wenger. I just assumed. I just assumed that was the case, to be honest.
Yeah, it was like, wait, but United isn't called Sir Alex United, like, what?
Well, no, that's not the joke.
Is named after him, so.
Yeah, but like Arsenal, RC, just also the exact same. So I think people, when you're like 5 fucking years old, you're going, they're not. He's what? Arsenal were around before Arsene Wenger. What? Fuck off.
Yeah, they had another. Yeah, that's the thing is that whenever I was like, hang on a second, there was another manager before them.
You're telling me they're not called the North London Reds? That's what Pro Evo calls them.
Oh
God, yeah.
Fucking Ezra.
Man red, man blue.
Man red, man blue. And then you get into
Merseyside blue, Merseyside red.
So the funny thing was when you get into like League 2 and they still don't have the team names for there, and it's like Northumbria Green.
No. It was worse. I don't know which. I think it was like 4 or 5 when there was a load of London clubs. So it was just the most obscure, just directions around London, like Northwest or whatever it was.
London Northwest East blue and a half red against
it's just
North
ridiculous.
London blue.
I genuinely actually look up that, but yeah.
See, you get everything from us.
Do you know who OTT needs to get? Luke King Sharp. Luke King Sharp. Based solely on the fact that his name in and of itself is a pun. Luke King Sharp. Which when I saw him first, I went, he's great because he comes off as this really fucking pricky fucking bully, and he's actually about 5 foot nothing, and he's kind of hilarious. And then afterwards, I went, that fella that we saw tonight, Luke King Sharp, and I went, his name is Luke King Sharp. I just got it. I sat in the middle of the bar and went, it's a pun. His name is a pun. Perfect. Anyway.
Match of the year.
It was a great match, actually, because I think he was against... who was he against? Who was he against? I can't remember who he was against anyway, but he was... Oh, Pastor, I think. I think he was against the Pastor Wilmever, I think.
Okay.
Before he won the... they're saying that he won the CCW title. It was a good match, too. So...
Oh, okay. Here we go.
As Dan's looking for that, let's talk about the tag team match in OTT.
No, we still haven't finished the match.
Can we just get to the most important one?
Hang on. I found a list of team names from Pro Evo 5.
Good Lord.
Aston
Villa. West Midlands Village. But that is better because Birmingham was also in the game. West Midlands City.
Oh, good Lord.
Blackburn, Lancashire.
Oh, yeah.
Bolton, Middlebrook, which confused loads of people because they were like, is that Middlesbrough? No. Middlesbrough. No, it's Bolton, actually. Yeah. South East London Reds. Any guesses there?
So,
it's like West Ham.
No.
Reds, Charlton. Yeah. I'm thinking that right.
Merseyside Blue. Yeah. West London White.
Fulham.
Yeah. Fulham.
Oh, very good. Very good. Yeah. You'd be good for the editing the names. Oh. Merseyside Red. Man Blue. Man Red. Okay. Teesside.
Teesside, Newcastle, isn't it?
No. That's Tyneside. Oh. That's Borough. So Middlesbrough.
Oh.
Tyneside, Newcastle. Pompey. That's a handy one. In all fairness, had they not thought of just putting nicknames of all of the teams rather than just they went with Pompey, so why not?
Dan, Amy decided to join into the podcast and she realised that we're on about football, so we missed a fucking lot there.
We've already talked about Skittles.
we've gone through the Skittles conversation and we've gone through everything else.
Wearside.
Wearside. That is Newcastle, isn't it? Isn't it?
No, Tyneside is Newcastle. Wearside is Sunderland.
Oh.
Yeah. North East London.
Tottenham.
Yep.
Yeah.
West Midlands Stripes.
Who the fuck cares?
No.
West Brom.
West Brom, yeah.
East London.
West
Say
Ham.
again? Oh.
East London.
Oh, yeah, West Ham.
And, of course, the last one we had was Lancashire Athletic.
Leeds.
No. Burnley,
to be fair, a clue is in the name. Athletic.
Yeah, Leeds. Lancashire is Leeds, isn't it?
No, they're Yorkshire.
No. Wigan.
Oh, yeah, they're Yorkshire.
Wigan. Oh, yeah.
Wigan. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck. I was never getting that. That one. Never getting that.
But yeah, those were the glory days of Pro Evo 5.
So, yeah, Keithley and Speedball was great. Match of the year. Just go out of your way to watch it. And
yeah, honest to God, it was at that stage. It was the match of the night, and I was like, "There's no way this is getting any better."
Nice, to be honest.
It really was good. I love that match.
Obviously, I knew both of them, and I'd seen Keithley obviously in kind of Bola and shit, and I'd seen Speedball in OTT and kind of in DDT. I was like, this match is going to be great. But even then, it blew my fucking mind. Like, Speedball just threw everything he had at Keith, and Keithley just monstered his way through it. And
we all basked in his glory.
That spirit bomb where it just looked like he was on a trampoline. He went BAM! And bounced back up in the air.
The knees.
Lads, can we get on with this there, please? Because it's nearly fucking 12 o'clock. This is about the latest we've ever actually been live. Not the latest we've talked, but definitely by far the latest we've been live. So can we speed this up a bit, please? Can we just get on to the main
we would have
matches?
been on earlier if somebody wasn't in the pub.
I was drinking!
Okay. Yeah. So then Jordan Devlin won against Timothy Thatcher. That was decent.
Yes.
Jordan Devlin
As
got the
people pointed out, it wasn't Terry Thatcher.
OTT champion.
And
And
people want to know where to get the scarves.
this time because we ain't got time. Then was the cage match, and it was very weird.
We had a brief intermission because they had to put the cage together. Which
in California in the
I am very disappointed.
Sequence of belts.
I'm very disappointed that even I wish it was, you know, like, because they did a cage match for the very first time in Ireland. I was kind of hoping, like, deep out inside, that they would have those, like, classic WWF cages. So the big blue ones that look like they'd actually hurt you if you got smacked off it. There was, like, a little bit inside me, like,
it looked rusted. I almost felt like, if I get rammed into that, I'm going to get a disease, am I?
Yeah. The thing as well is, each side was made of like 3 pieces, so every time it got hit, it sort of all bended.
Yeah, and the contenders and stuff would have to like rush to push it back in. It was actually like so scary though, just watching going, somebody's gonna die.
But like, I just thought it was like funny, like rewatching it on demand. It's like the fact that the latch was
lads, look at the
was
chat.
held on.
Special guest for 5 minutes, like.
Well, she asked, and she's coming on. So
yay! Amy can finish OTT because like I'm
because Amy's lost her voice. She can basically recreate the ending of the match for us.
She can't. Anyway, yeah, the Kings worked over, or the Rapture worked over the Kings.
PT
in all fairness, the booing that the Rapture got is one of the loudest I have heard in a long time.
That's what you call legit heat, though. That's proper heat.
It is just brilliant. It's just you can't even hear him, even on demand. You cannot hear him. The only way I actually could hear what he said was the fact that he was saying it over our side of the ring. That was the only reason.
But like,
honest,
where they were just killing Bonesaw, it was just like the crowd was fucking. They hated them. Like, somebody could have shot Zach Gibson and we'd have all cheered. Like nobody would have cared.
It's so, do you know what this honestly sounds like? Do you know the heat that they get, right? It sounds like those stories that I listen to fucking like old wrestlers talk about, where like, so they'd be like in like a southern fucking territory, and they'd go, "Oh, such and such a person has died because he was in like an airplane accident or like a car accident," and like half the crowd would go, "Yeah, fuck him."
Like me when I was a kid, when Randy Orton was in like a bike accident, I went, "Fuck yeah, fuck him, fuck you, Randy Orton." That's
did
what
Did you send a link there, Aaron?
What?
But that's basically Zach gets that kind of heat, and Charlie Sterling as well, because people kind of.
So you're telling me, Alex, that they were actually entertaining the crowd and they got heat? Ooh, that's odd. Go on.
Years of character building and being from Liverpool.
So there's not a lot of character building from there. People just.
I know.
There was quite a number of people in the crowd who were very pro Rapture.
Yeah, but they're just twats.
I'm gonna.
I'm saying they're the people who cheered for Timothy Thatcher over Jordan Devlin, and that's just brainless.
Yeah.
So yeah, forget it.
That was a bit weird and surreal as well. Like the like seeing them not support Jordan.
Oh yeah, but they're all from the north and from like England and shit, so they.
All right. Fair enough.
Yeah, they don't count.
Are we waiting for Amy to go into detail on this?
Yeah, when I sent her she look at the message, she goes link in capital letters, so I sent her the link, but I had to send it to her like as a personal thing because my laptop's incredibly slow when I try and get it. Oh, here she is.
Oh,
so
chat.
Is she there?
Oh.
She's there.
Oh.
She's there. I'm gonna put the camera on her.
Just put it on her.
Don't put the camera on. Don't put the camera on. know what? It was worth it just to do it for like a second.
Fuck's sake.
I sound like shit still. I don't even know if you can hear me.
Just about.
Just about.
We can, but it sounds like you're just going, can we just talk like this for a while? Do you know the SNL sketch, the sweaty ball sketch?
Oh my god.
Dan, do you know about that? Am I the only one that knows about that? Do you know it, Alex?
You keep going off on a tangent. Can we just finish here? Because even I'm not talking about wrestling.
I'm just saying what she sounds like. I'm saying she sounds like the Alec Baldwin SNL sketch when they're on about his sweaty balls. And they all talk
I know what I'm going to be doing after this.
The only reason why I sound like this is because of OTT. A week ago.
Remember what I said about the
Yes.
That's what happened to Amy. Basically, she booed them so badly, her voice actually left her body. She hates Zach Gibson that much. See? Heel heat.
Like the entire arena, apart from a minority, hated that man with a passion.
But
Although, in all fairness, Charlie and his posting on the forum over the last week or 2 weeks has not fucking helped. We'll get to that because
this was called a heel.
I also like too.
Heel in every facet of their life to make it believable, and Charlie Sterling does it. He's a dickhead in everything. It's great.
the other thing is, I don't know if I said it on here, did I say it in person? But like, I'd love to see at some stage somebody using the forum as like part of like furthering something in OTT, and the fact that like he was posting in the forum.
That was fucking beautiful. It's not even an hour removed from the show, and he's just like, ha ha ha, fuck you. He's putting the belts in there. And I was like, oh my god, what a prick.
It was like I had to applaud at that. I'm remembering stuff. Yeah, we'll just talk about the match because it was OTT's first ever cage match.
Really was the kind of the beatdown segment on Bonesaw and the Heat, and then
the fact that there was a huge segment in the match before the match even started.
Yeah, that's, to be fair though, that's what you'd expect from these six though. They couldn't fucking stand each other. I thought they'd all go into the cage and maul each other, but this was a better idea.
Yeah, especially
we got to see two cage style and a short enough kind of match with a lot of cool shit.
Well, the other thing as well is like it was a nice. I'm assuming that it was a nod to Jimmy Snuka's splash off the top of the cage.
Surely these days no one is giving Jimmy Snuka a nod, no?
As soon as they said they were going to do a cage match, Corbin was like, I'm jumping off that fucking cage. That was all. That's the reason why he did it. Because he wanted to jump off the cage.
He can still do a Nordy accent. It's great.
It wasn't.
Lordy Amy.
I'm going to jump off the fucking cage. Alright?
Claire, make sure you've got extra stuff. I'm jumping off the fucking cage.
Her voice is just gone, but she's still attempting that Nordic accent.
Do you know what else is really bad? I have to keep checking to make sure that I'm covered.
For fuck's sake.
Like I have a top on. just in case.
This podcast is a fucking shambles.
That went on. That match, the little mini match that they had, it went on for I think it was 10 minutes.
Yeah.
In total. Majority of the stuff happened up at the merch stand, so you can't see it. And anyone who was where we all were, you wouldn't have seen anything unless you're watching it on the demand. But when they actually finally get into the cage, that's when shit just got really fucking
because when they just had locked themselves in with Bonesaw.
Which, you know what? Fair fucks to Bonesaw. He took one hell of a beating.
Initially, I thought they were going to do a thing where they were just going to beat the crap out of Bonesaw and try and pin him. But then the whole thing was
then you were like,
Foxy wasn't there, and there wasn't a pin. It was just the only way to win was to escape the cage, and because the match hadn't started, because all six men had to be in to start with. So I thought they were kind of going to do a false finish or something.
I forgot Butch had even said that. Because of the fact that Foxy never got in the ring.
Yeah.
As well, I was thinking.
Yeah, because that's the way I was looking. I was like, all six of them went in, and Foxy's in there, so that can't end. That's the way I was looking at it. But then I remembered then it was the only way to win was to escape. But then I was there's no way that anyone's climbing over the top of that. No way. It's held together by fucking cable ties. There's no way anyone's climbing over that.
One of them popped off.
Several of them.
Can you imagine if
off.
someone climbed up and they just went, "Oh shit"?
No, but this is the thing. At the corners, they were all held together by belt straps to the posts.
That was almost on the verge of happening so many times. Whenever they like threw somebody into the cage, you could just almost see it.
Somebody was on the outside holding it.
We're chatting to Al in Belfast the next night, and even he was kind of like, well, it's the only way to actually keep him on the top. And he says, but that cage was never going to actually fall over. It was the only reason why it was there is to stop it from slipping down.
Yeah.
Because every time they hit against it, it would bounce off the apron. But it wasn't intended it's going to fall over. It's just going to slide.
Yeah.
So we actually were. And when Al was explaining that to us, I was like, I feel safe now. Because it's Al that's saying it. It's not Nathan Martin telling you to get ready to run. No, it's Al saying it's not going to slide. It was such a good match, though.
Yeah. It was very fun.
Can I just say that Amy currently sounds like Joey's agent in Friends at the minute?
Yes! I wasn't going to say it. It sounds like a style from Friends.
We're just like, yeah, take it away.
Joey! It's a great part, Joey!
It's Estelle. I got a roll for you.
Oh, good Lord.
Yes!
This is the IWF Video Podcast. We've lost slightly off there. Great.
This is why I didn't want to come on in the first place.
Honest to God, I would love doing the entire podcast with Estelle.
Yes! Wait, we're starting again. Back to the start. Wrestling is not fake. Amy thinks.
Just me and Aaron screaming over each other, and Amy in the background going, you shut the fuck. Shut up. Shut the fuck. No.
Shut the fuck up, Alex.
If you could go back to the start of that podcast, Amy, when you get the chance, and just listen to my argument.
The reason why I came onto YouTube because I assumed it would have been finished by now.
You could watch it. Now you're involved in it.
Did you not notice the time that we didn't start? We didn't start at 9:15.
The Kingdom lost the belts. They've been champions for like 90% of the time the tag belts have been around.
As I said, the silence
They were the
at the end of
champion.
that match.
They were the champions.
413 days.
Summer 2016.
413 days.
December. My first OTT show, they won them back, and they've had them ever since. Like, I've only ever known the Kings of the North to be tag champions. I've never known any other team to hold them belts. Very weird.
Corvin was so broken up in Belfast.
Emotionally and physically, I'm guessing.
Oh
Physically,
my
his legs
God,
are
so much physically. Like me and Ali emotionally, him so much physically, and I was like, motherfucker still tried to kill himself in that match though that they had in Belfast.
Did he do a balcony dive again?
Not a balcony dive, but he fucking threw himself over the ring. And it was against the Rapture again.
Oh. Jesus, isn't like Belfast where Duncan fucked himself up in the last show as well? It's scary.
Like, it's... At the merchant, no, it wasn't even at the merchant. This is like before the fucking night even started. And I said it to you, and I will say it again. I had said it to him personally. I was like, do not try to kill yourself. You have a child. You've got kids. Don't try to kill yourself. The first fucking thing he does, the ring hasn't even been rang.
Lads.
What?
What?
Oh my
It's
god.
Incredibles poster for the second movie. It's been too long, darlings.
See, I can't really get excited about it because I still haven't watched the first one.
What?
Why are you reacting? This isn't the first time I've told you that.
Fuck is wrong with you?
It doesn't matter how many times you tell me it. I'm shocked at the fact that you haven't watched it yet.
You bastard.
Did you not see my comment on Donald's post about Disney movies?
If I started off this podcast by saying, "Honey, where is my super suit?" you wouldn't know what I was on about.
Well, of course, I know references from the film, but I haven't seen the film from start to finish.
Honey, where is my super suit? You know, a couple of weeks ago, me and my brother spent a good solid hour just screaming that around the house. Honey, where is my super suit? Where is my super suit? I texted him as well inside work, asking him where my super suit was, and he found it hilarious.
I'm not trying to put the blame on Amy, but we've went off topic more in the last 5 minutes than we did in the first 2 hours of the podcast.
We actually stopped.
And we only went off topic because I mentioned the fact that we hadn't went off topic.
Yeah. To be honest,
so anyway, up in Belfast, the first move that he does is a fucking dive out of the ring, and he proper like sunset flip dive out of the ring.
Fucking indie wrestlers.
The microphone.
Consider it's the night after he's had the cage match, you would take it easy.
Yeah, no fucking shit. Right?
Not
like Black Gibson was still giving his promo. The mic flew out of his hand. We lost the mic for that night.
Do you know what I feel like the conversation was in the back was? Can you take it easy tonight because you're a bit fucked up from last night? And just his reply going, I am in my fuck. Dive. I want to try it. I want to try an Aussie accent, but I'm afraid like I'm going to fuck it up totally, so I'm not going to risk myself from like insulting an entire section of the country.
I won't be offended.
Oh no, Alex! This week in alone, I already insulted an entire subsection of professional wrestling fans in this country. Do you really think
Liverpool bastard? No, that was horrendous.
No, you went Scottish towards the end there.
I terrible accents. I tell you, I used to try and do the I'm Batman, you know, the gruff thing, and I'd sound like I was Apu from The Simpsons. I'd end up doing I'm Batman.
It also freaks me out the fact that Corvin doesn't sound the same out of character as he does in character. That freaks me out.
Was it Alex? Alex, was it you that was trying to do an impression of somebody and you just turned it into a Jamaican accent?
No.
That happened last week.
Maybe. Then again,
you were trying to do something and it sounded Jamaican.
What did I do?
Oh, somebody's voice you were trying to do and it ended up sounding Jamaican.
I don't know. To be honest, I don't sound Jamaican or Indian. I just sound like I'm from fucking Skang of Dublin. So, yeah.
But anyway, so after the end of the match, after I had bought where I was getting the bus driver paid, and he's just walking in, and Corbin is walking back with his boxes. He wouldn't even look me in the face, and he just went, "This is why I don't promise you anything," and just walked away. I love that man, but my God, he's gonna kill himself.
He's earning that merch money.
Holy. And he has a new T-shirt coming out soon, so I'm gonna start saving up my money.
That was the other thing as well at OTT. I was seconds away from buying a Kings of the North T-shirt, and then the fact that Jordan Devlin was there selling his own T-shirts, it was like, Ash, I'll take one of yours.
Devlin's good. He always sells his own merch.
Is it the Import Killer one or the Karen one?
No, the Import Killer. I was looking at getting the Karen one as well, but I really wanted the Import Killer one.
So nice.
Because it's just such a class design.
Killer one at being the Elite, but I got about 4 shirts, and I lost it on the way home because I had so many shirts.
Did you lose an OTT one?
What?
No, because there was somebody posted in the forum about an OTT shirt that was found.
No. To be fair, I got my Trans 7 one home, so I didn't really mind. That's all I wanted.
How many did you lose?
Just the one, but I had like 4 of them on my shoulder.
What one did you lose?
The Import Killer.
Oh no!
I had it, and I wore it when he won the belt, and then I took it off because I had like 2 shirts on, and then I lost
What
on the way
size?
home. I was raging.
What size did you get?
Like 10 pins, so I knew I was going to lose something. You know, I should have been better prepared. Should have brought a bag.
See, I bring a bag with me.
Just actually, the rest should just start bringing bags. So it's like you buy their merch. You want a bag with that? Ah, yeah. Cheers, mate. Cheers.
Hang on a second. You came back into town with us. Where the hell did you lose it?
No, I'll be in the elite.
I'll be in the elite. All right, I was thinking that. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, no, I got like so many shirts at being the elite because me and Amy together spent about 300 quid put together. At being the elite. It wasn't.
But don't forget, I went to Belfast the next day, so I spent more money up in Belfast.
I went to Belfast too.
Lads, you need a fucking life. In fucking fairness. That's nearly €500 on fucking wrestling merch in what, like 2 days? Fucking budget, lads. Budget your monies.
I spent €30.
Yeah. See, be like that.
Lads, I can't be like that. I'm impulsive. If I see no one at a merch stand, I'm like, I have to buy that shirt. Just out of pity or something, lads. But I've counted not only OTs, but just wrestling merch in general. Like with the near 500 t-shirts I own.
Holy shit.
Here, you need to fucking calm the fuck down. Christ.
Well, in all fairness, if you're spending €300 at per show, you're gonna have a lot of shirts, I suppose.
No, but here's the thing: is right. If I'm buying from WWE shop, I'm gonna buy in bulk. I'm not gonna buy one fucking shirt.
Most I ever bought.
Impact.
The most I ever bought
So
in WWE shop was 3 tops, and I felt like I was even overdoing it at that. I was like,
I buy one, buy one, get one free.
I buy usually when I buy
every single set.
The only time I ever bought shirts in the WWE shop, Amy just cut out their voice. Was that me?
Huh?
What?
Amy, she just stopped talking from my end. I couldn't hear anything.
Because you kept talking over me.
All right, Jesus fucking Christ. All right, Estelle. Jesus Christ. All right then, fucking.
Pet peeve.
No. Actually, if you didn't hear it earlier, Amy, do you watch the Trailer Park Boys? Right. So what I've done is name all of us after some of the main cast. I'm Jim Leahy because I like whiskey a bit too much than I normally being should.
That's
Dan
the bloke that wears the black t-shirts?
No,
is
that's
Alex
Dan.
Oh.
No.
So Alex is Bubbles.
You were. Because you're the only one here that has an actual level head and are probably the smartest of a lot of us, which Bubbles is in the long run. Alex is Ricky because fucking Julian, fucking
Who's that?
That's Bubbles.
Yeah, Amy's a good fit for Bubbles.
Right, so this is what I was getting at. I'm Jim Leahy because I like vodka too much. Amy, you're Bubbles because even though Bubbles looks like the most retarded person in the group, you don't. He is still technically the smartest one of the lot of them because he's the only one that actually wants to do something with his life and doesn't like arguments. Dan,
Okay.
stop.
You're zooming in on he's giving
Dan
us the...
Dan is Julian because he had a glass of rum and coke for most of this podcast, and Julian spends all of his life with that glass in his hand, always full, never empty. And Alex is Ricky because even if Alex were to insult an entire subsection of the fucking planet, he'd probably blame me for it somehow.
Yeah, definitely. Look, I did that with the whole Sierra thing. It was like, I didn't say I'm bad about Sierra. He's all just like taking it wrong. He's melts. But like you admitted
that you were wrong.
I did, but like originally I blamed it on everyone else. But like I think that's just a human reaction. So
I didn't insult Martina. You insulted Martina.
You've
Amy,
actually done that as well.
Amy, you're taking this.
I did not. I actually inadvertently insulted Martina.
No, not you. Alex insults Martina all the fucking time. He does it in a group chat all the fucking time. Forgetting that two of our mates are in it.
How fucking dare you, Alex? Martina is the second best women's wrestler in this country. How dare you?
What? Who? What?
You keep insulting Martina, so I'm saying, how dare you?
Alex, we have it in a group chat that you've insulted her before.
Talking about her.
After Jade, one of her best mates, was added into the group chat, you had been going off on Martina saying how you didn't like her and how that she was shit.
I didn't say that. I always like Martina.
Again, we actually have it in a group chat.
Amy,
with
if you can you get the evidence of that, please? And we can rub it in his face.
It's going back weeks. It will take me hours, possibly a day or two, to find those messages again.
Well, I want you to do it. You have no choice.
I do have a choice. Guess what? I'm saying no.
Oh, wow.
Oh, you bitch. Amy, you bitch. Anyway, this podcast has been a fucking shambles. It started off with me wanting to strangle Alex. Halfway through, me still wanting to strangle Alex, but for a completely different fucking reason. Like Vince McMahon not getting the wrestling business. Amy, that's what he said halfway through this podcast, that Vince McMahon doesn't get the wrestling business. Vince McMahon...
No, I just said he can't book wrestling that well as people give him credit for.
He runs the biggest professional wrestling company in the world.
Ah, yeah, but like so, doesn't matter. Clearly.
Alex.
Yeah.
I get to see you tomorrow. Aaron, do you want me to bitch slap him for you?
Fucking smack him as hard as humanly possible, please,
You know what?
and get someone to record it.
Wait, why am I seeing you tomorrow? What's happening? Is Contenders tomorrow? Did I forget about Contenders or something?
No.
Oh, are you speaking out on Butch's? You're not coming to Butch's?
I don't know. I have to go to a Memorial Cup thing for my round tomorrow.
No, we're going to go to that thing that Amy's on about. You're going to that thing that Amy's on about, because if she doesn't get to smack you over the head on my behalf, then I'm going to do it in 2 months when I come back up to Dublin.
Maybe just do a Contenders. Like, come on. Let's be honest.
Or I can come back up next Sunday when I'm off, just to specifically
Contenders is next Sunday.
The group knows about it. Nathan knows to record it when it happens.
Yes. Give him reasoning. I don't want this just to be because I hate Alex. I want there to be a reason behind it. Just so everyone else can lambast him at the fact that he doesn't think Vince McMahon can book wrestling right. God damn it, boy.
By the way, about the WWE defend it so well. It's like Vince McMahon
because
Vince McMahon can book wrestling, just not Roman Reigns.
Because he can't, and everyone would actually admit this, Vince McMahon can book wrestling, but he can't book faces that well. And that's been shown down the years. The only real face he ever booked properly was Hulk Hogan, and that's because he didn't really have to do any work into him.
You can't book wrestling that well, clearly. If you can't book faces.
No, it's not that he can't book faces. It's like he seems to book them as heels because the heels can get over, but then the faces don't. And it's like he still gets it. Obviously, he fucking gets it.
Hence why he can't book wrestling.
This has been the IWF Video Podcast.
Like Raw and SmackDown to no end. But when you say that Vince McMahon is bad at booking wrestling, it's like, oh no, he's not. But every week he puts out a shit product week after week. Like,
because he's not the one these days that actually books the shows. Because you know why? Because he runs a multinational fucking organization of nearly 2,000 employees that runs in every country on the planet and doesn't actually
I'm
have.
sure he's great at that business
Do you know
kind
who-
of thing. Like he clearly just.
Do you know who books it these days, Alex? Alex, do you know who books it these days? Who actually has the hands on it? Stephanie McMahon.
Oh, sure, Jesus, she's
That's
even
not
worse
it.
though.
Yes. Anytime that her others that Shane, do you know who can't book wrestling actually? If we read stories about him, Shane doesn't know how to fucking do it at all.
That man can build a company and he can build a business, but when it comes to wrestling, all he can do is jump off things. That's it.
Yeah, it's if you want to actually find stories about Shane trying to like book wrestling, he just doesn't get it. He can be told what to do, but when he tries to write shit himself, you just look at him afterwards going,
he probably has one of the best. He has one of the best business minds there is, but when it comes to actually like practicality in a wrestling thing, he's not that great.
No. Right, we do actually have to end this podcast because I am fucking tired. So tired.
Yeah, this is yeah.
It was a great podcast. It was 2.5 hours. This will be uploaded to Castbox.
It's about 3 hours, is it not? We started like 20 past or 25 past.
3 hours and 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's been over 3 hours. This will be on Castbox tomorrow or Sunday.
That's going to be a big ass file to download.
What?
Yep. But I have, look, a 500 gigabyte SD card. So ain't no problems for me downloading this anymore.
Nice.
So this will be uploaded online with a podcast in about 2 days at the absolute most.
Aaron, he's the one who actually invested in this. He actually puts money into this. We just show up.
I actually put money into this fucking podcast and wanted to work.
The rest of us show up.
Bought a microphone, bought an SD card,
so
downloaded legal software.
So Alex, can you be the next one now to maybe step up and get a second-hand laptop? You cheap ass fucking bastard, yeah.
I'm a student. I don't have the kind of money for that shit.
You cannot use that excuse every fucking time.
Let's start a Kickstarter for them.
You spent 150 euros on wrestling gear.
December, you twit. I saved for that. That was Christmas.
That's another thing I'm gonna bitch slap you for. Because you're a fucking asshole.
Why you been slapping him this time? Because you're just an arsehole. Just that's it. That's the only reason I need these days.
Do you know, I actually don't even need a legitimate reason to fucking punch you in the face.
Oh, do you want to get tomorrow the new McDonald's burger, the Grand Mac? I cannot wait for that.
What?
Oh God, I think I'll go for one myself. Oh wait.
Yeah.
Do not.
Remind the people if they don't know. Remind our 5 viewers if they can't remember. Why can't you get McDonald's at the moment?
Our McDonald's closed the end of sometime in the middle of January. It's closed for 5 weeks for the redevelopment. It doesn't reopen till the end of February.
And this is why Dan is a little bit not age lately.
That's actually legit sadness.
that was genuine sadness in his voice.
No, you genuinely don't know how. Like, Deborah was there wanting to get McDonald's this evening. Like, you see, we go for McDonald's the odd time, and it's just like, well, like we want to go for McDonald's, but like we can't go for McDonald's because it's not open.
Well, Dan,
it's not even going to be open tomorrow. It's not going to be open next week. It mightn't be open until the week after that. Actually, no, it's going to be more than that because I think it's the 27th was when it opens again.
Do you know, it'll just make that from McDonald's back all the better. You know?
Shut up, Alex.
Anyway, I'm gonna stop this now so we can just talk normally, and I can just have an own nap there a while. So
Fall asleep with the computer, and we allowed.
yeah. So everyone wave at the camera. No. Everyone wave at the camera. Bye.